playoffs.
Hey, but look, hey, y'all made history though, because this is the first time I've seen an S.V.D.L that a playoff debate had a judge that gave a tie.
And I don't care what nobody say. Y'all niggas was fighting each other point for fucking point. Like that shit, bro. If you couldn't follow that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like you just weren't paying attention. But either way, like Taz will bring up mortality rate, Blue will bring up how the black women was getting mistreated and shit. I'm like, man, bro, come on, bro. They fighting right now. Like we in the back room talking shit to each other. Like, yeah, hey, you heard this shit?
That was a battle, man. That shit was
Hey, y'all lived up to all expectations. And some, nigga.
Yeah, I was fighting from the beginning.
I got a lot of respect for you, though, Blue, man. Hey, real talk, bro. That was a hell of fire, rapid fire, bro.
Man, Blue keep getting better.
That shit was hella fire, bro.
I don't want to hear your Hookah9 and A9 say shit to Blue. They love you, bro. They love you, bro. Yeah. I don't want to hear that shit no more, bro. The other niggas like, bro, I want to get this
swallow one night shit.
Hey, nigga, we ain't even seen this nigga yet, dog. They like, man, dog, for real. I'm finna call that nigga, dog. So here's the question, though, that I have about the rapid fire, man. Because this is what I don't get. Like, I'm just answering questions. When they come, like, what if the answer is yes, it's yes. I don't understand what happened to rapid fire was so amazing.
Yeah,
like,
tell her right now.
I'm gonna tell you.
Like somebody explain to me what happened in the rapid fire that was so bad.
Can I say something?
They signed up for this shit.
If you don't mind, can I
you ain't shit, bro.
Can I share my thoughts, brother?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Okay, so listen. I listened to your argument, right? Your whole argument was about having a focus on establishing a relationship with Black Americans. Am I correct? Correct?
Well, America in totality, but of course, Black Americans was part of that list.
All right. So you was talking about the children and all that. So when he asked you, to me, when I listened to it, it's like he strawmanned you to white America, and you was like, yes. When I'm like, damn, dude, you just let him strawman you, because most of the time, all you was talking about was the Black family and the Black home. So in my mind, I'm thinking you talking about Black America. Like, okay, Blacks are Americans, right?
So this is what I'm saying though about the judges, and this is what I'm not concise on. They said they don't want to hear the arguing. So I could have literally said, nigga, we talking about Black America. I could have, you know what I'm saying? I can argue with you, nigga. I'm just trying to debate, and they talk about being professional and all this shit. Now we can smoke on this motherfucker.
Yeah, I got you.
But they gotta make up their mind on what they want to see. That's the easy say. We talking about Black Americans.
Yeah, but see, this is what I'm saying. When he asked you about white Americans, you could have said no. And then if he would have asked you why,
but he asked me about white America contextually, and what he's asking is a legitimate yes. So
but listen what I'm saying. He asked you about building.
It wasn't a straw man anything. It was a legitimate question.
Right. And Taz,
and another thing.
You hooking on. Catch this too though. Blue just interjected this as the media. I'm peeping this. Blue said that's why he asked it that way. I thought about that too. Like Blue is so he's so different the way he go about shit, to the point you won't see him telepathing his punch. You feel me? Yeah. To the point he didn't see that shit. He got hit.
One thing I'm gonna say,
punch though, because I don't get the punch though.
But see, this is what I'm saying, Taz. During your interrogation, you let him dominate that. That's another thing. Another thing.
All right, you're gonna get
he dominated your section as well.
Nah, see, I disagree with that, because I again, the judges say don't talk over each other, don't argue over each other. So that's what I'm saying. I got to get a clear understanding of what we doing.
What niggas really want.
Like, I'm really responding to everything he says. I'm hearing the question, and when he starts talking,
they want that ratchet shit, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just my take. That's my take on it, my brother. Hey, man, congratulations on your win. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Hey, I got some newfound respect for you, bro. Real talk, man. Hey, congratulations to you too. Hats off, Blue. Real
We
talk.
got Solar Mind coming in the building. So DJ, say what you gotta say real quick before we get to Solar Outdabluu. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna try to get everybody in here real quick.
I just want to say congratulations to both of y'all. I know who was gonna win tonight. I was trying to take our bet. Floyd Mayweather won, Taz won, Roger Jack won, and Ocho Cinco got knocked the hell out.
What? We got
Floyd won? Yeah, Ocho Cinco got knocked out.
How did Floyd win? Did he
Nah, they took him the distance, Solar Mind, so I ain't gonna say Floyd won because he let a no fighting ass dude take him the distance.
That big ass motherfucker, he's big as hell.
And he got some hands too, though.
And Floyd did that on purpose. He trying to get some more bags like these little stupid motherfuckers that want to fight him. He don't let nobody.
That's why I always like buying Floyd fight. I'm paying $100, bro. That shit better not be over in the first few rounds.
Right, Floyd gonna go to this.
I'm on 12 rounds, bro.
He gonna really get to know you love.
You know you can get them joints for free though. On the John, you can get them joints for free.
I'm gonna try. I need to see how to get
XYZ.
I lost my weed fucking with these niggas, bro. This shit was so lit tonight. What the fuck, bro? I wasn't even worried about smoking, so let me do
it. They cut off on SX though. So when shit started on SX, they cut out. They cut the whole.
That's all cool and all, DJ, but this motherfucking debate tonight was so motherfucking lit. I don't forget.
Yeah. This definitely was a tough one right here. You know what I mean? I didn't know I was gonna be thrown in the line of fire, but you know, I did kind of keep my eyes on the debate to see, you know, I think that Blue came with a lot of energy, surprisingly, you know, but it seemed like he kind of drifted off the topic for the majority of the premise round and the opening. So it kind of fell into, you know, Taz's hands, and the rebuttal, I believe Taz won as well, but Blue actually destroyed him in the rapid fire round. You know, I mean with the points that he was making. Now, and is the rapid fire round,
but it wasn't a knockout though.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a knockout. He didn't get a checkmate on there, but he beat him up.
He beat the brakes off of him.
Yeah, he beat him up.
Right, so again, so that means talk over a motherfucker.
No, that's right. No, the Blue
I ain't, bro, I don't give a fuck no more. Nigga, I see what this shit is. Motherfuckers keep trying to play this professional shit, and then when the shit come up, nigga, the shit is all about no, bro. Fuck that, nigga. That nigga cut me off, talking over me. I'm being respectful, and you telling me he destroyed me? Nigga, you got me fucked up, nigga.
Nah, hey, listen. The reason I say that, and I'm gonna give it right back to Solar, it wasn't so much that you wasn't talking. It was the points that he was getting off you, right? And then it was some of the questions.
What points? Name them. Is America controlled by white men? Again, that's what I'm saying, nigga. Niggas want to see the stall tactics right there, the arguing for nothing.
But
I'm trying to give you the debate you asking for, and you telling me a nigga destroyed me because I'm answering basic shit. Nigga, run the tape, nigga.
Run the tape, nigga. Okay, run the tape. First he had you say. He had your ass say that the white man is equal to the government. I'm like, oh,
okay, so listen,
I already knew right there.
Are white men synonymous with the government?
No, I would have said no. I would have said no. Now,
right. And so now you go down a rabbit hole with the no. He needed a no.
Nah, because I mean, well. If he was looking for a no, then he made a good recovery with the yes. You know what I mean? Because he was like, what he did was like, was say his whole thing that he was showing to the people was, you sitting up here talking about building America where the government is against you. Right. How the fuck you building America when the fucking government is against you? That was his point.
Now, but he didn't say that.
But that's what he proved.
How the fuck do y'all give niggas points that they don't say?
No, that's what
he actually did say that.
He did say that.
He said what?
He
He said what exactly?
He was like, you can't have to have a relationship
How
with these white men.
no, first he got you to admit that the white man is equal to the government, right?
Right.
White man is equal to the government, right?
Right.
Then he had you say that, well, then what he did was he proved, he said, well, did the white man fight against white people and prevent white people? You like, yes. So how you establishing a government here when the white man, the government is against you? How are you doing anything?
Right. So take me to a point where I said we're establishing a government.
No, but
how you gonna have anything?
He said something about building a nation within a nation. I said,
that was his
so
point.
those were all false arguments, and that's what I'm saying. Y'all like dumb shit. Show me where I agree with the nation argument. I never
you want a debate.
I know motherfucking well I did, nigga, and this is why I won it. This nigga, I'm better than the niggas judge.
Gotta work on the rapid fire round because this is the second time I see you on the rapid fire round.
So actually, you gotta make me understand that point. I ain't like for real, but like, what the fuck? Play that shit. Because I'm just agreeing on something that we literally know.
If you stayed on topic on that one of them rounds, they would have beat your ass, nigga, in my opinion.
Right. So this is what happened, bro. Blue did a bad job in the open. And that's kind of.
It wasn't a bad job. He just was like kind of off.
He just did a rebuttal.
Like, that was a whole rebuttal for the opening, bro. Like,
like he did a rebuttal in the opening, right? And I reiterate this shit all the time, bro. Like
did the Eminem, y'all ain't used to that shit.
Structure the argument based off of the round. Like, how can you allow that to happen, my nigga?
I mean, I think
that nigga, dude.
My opening, because
he came with everything, bro. Like, he came with everything, bro.
He predicted everything Taz did.
I think my premise, though, my opening was based off of his premise. And so the reason why I used it, that's the reason why it really wasn't like a rebuttal, but
you didn't establish an opening.
I was well, I did as I was addressing his premise. I was giving you what I was going to run through at the same time. So I'm addressing his premise, what he said he was going to go through. I put the logical fallacies in there. And then I said why these were logical fallacies, because I never mentioned anything
but you never came and made it clear, like, okay, but here's what I'm arguing.
Right.
Like, your entire opening was based upon rebutting what he was going to argue, but you never. And I'm telling you, I promise you.
I can see that.
I promise you, like, that's literally what I said when I'm watching. Like, bro, this is a rebuttal. Like, he's not establishing his argument. And then when we got to the premise, I'm sitting here watching because if I'm honest, like, I didn't feel like neither one of y'all executed flawlessly in your premise, right? But then you got to get an edge to Taz because even when I watched the premise, you still damn near fighting and rebutting. And I'm waiting for you to just give clear cut. Here is why it's better or why we need to build a relationship with Africa. Instead, it was, well, America did this, and America did that. And then we got it towards the end, but it just wasn't strong enough. And then he edged you out in the rebuttal. But like I said, you came back and did your thing in the rapid fire. So
I just felt like my first part of my premise was predicated towards what the relationship was with America. And then the second half of my premise was why we should be working on the relationship with Africa.
I think it should be like the other way around because I see what you was now that you say that. I see what
I see what you was going.
But I think it should have been the other way around. I think it should have been like lay down a premise and then hit them with an American policy. Lay down the premise, what you saying we should do, and why would it be good to connect with Africa, and then hit them with an American policy. You kind of did it the other way around.
I get what you're saying.
It sound like it sounded like a rebuttal. So yeah. I see what you're saying now, though. I see what you're saying, though.
I get what you're saying too, Sully, but I feel like he was on some doctor shit. You feel me? Like I keep telling niggas, Blue getting better. Every debate is what I'm noticing. Like a doctor, you go see the doctor, he gonna tell you what's wrong with your motherfucking ass, why we should fix it, and then here's the solution. You feel me? He broke it down in the process. Y'all niggas want immediate gratification. Y'all want to get to the end of the fucking line. So
no, it's not bad. I want you to be clear. I want the arguments to be clear at this point, right? And so what happened was,
yeah, but I'm the one
you left it up to
the actual legitimate fallacy and didn't get credit for it. I ain't said shit about
it.
Yeah, we ain't gonna listen to you cry tonight, though. You definitely don't get to complain about shit. Congratulations on your debate.
I didn't say a much.
Cuss whoever you want to cuss out tomorrow. Nigga, you get none of that. Sit your winning ass down and
credit
get
though,
beat up.
Blue.
Lucky we
Like
ain't
you had me like, man, this is, you know what I mean? Like, it was, I give you credit. It was a good debate, bro. I just
tonight, bro.
Hey, but Blue never told us how we're going to do the rebuild. Right, I just expected the execution to be good.
Talking shit. You been gone. No, DJ been gone. Because that ain't the topic. The point
but DJ made a good point, bro. Like,
the point is, should we focus on rebuilding, not how we gonna do it? Come on, man.
Well, okay, but should we? Then tell me why we should.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. If you're gonna ask the question, should, it has to be a connected how, why, or when, or something.
Right.
It just can't be a should we, like that's how I thought. And that's how I really lost. You know what I'm saying? I was sitting there waiting for it. I learned some shit tonight, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. I was totally blindsided, bro. I'm like, Blue is handing Taz his goddamn hat.
He was getting it in.
He's handing Taz, especially like when Taz went into his round.
That Africa love and that Africa worship in you that was telling you that.
Bro, I would hate to find out that's true. I really don't think that's it. But I would be hurt genuinely if I felt like, damn, you that blind by Africa, nigga? You gonna lose a debate? But I'm looking at it like, yeah, he came out in the opening kind of rebuttalist. But it wasn't, to me, what rebuttalist. It was like I've seen a lot of debaters do, including Dumbo. What my opponent's gonna do is the reason why that's some bullshit is. But it was kind of like a rebuttal. Then when the premises,
that was his whole round though, Swab.
Bro, he said we can't mix niggas.
The premise is a premise.
How do we round that though? And I don't understand.
No, because this is how I look at it.
Because
I've seen.
Well, that's why it wouldn't do that rebuttal round. I mean, you know, right. You would have to really get into. I would have kind of went, you know, the African Union, me personally.
But that's not an either or fallacy. If my argument is never that we shouldn't focus on, but on the home.
No, the fallacy was the Marcus Garvey shit. That was the
fallacy. No, you did kind of. That nigga did it.
But you're getting me to if I'm not focusing. But I'm saying, if you're insinuating my focus because I'm saying that we should focus on building a relationship with Africa, that automatically equals that we're not focused on building a relationship in our home. How is that not a dichotomy?
I think what he showed, what he showed on that.
Hold on, bro. Let me respond. That's not what that automatically means. Remember, my debate was structured in 3 different sets. That fell up under we already have a relationship. That didn't fall up under they have issues. That fell up under we already have a relationship. My point was focusing on one may have hurt the other. Not that, you know, it was his fault.
But I think one of the things that he showed, I believe during the rebuttal round was a lot of the shit that we are dealing with in our domestically, you know, a lot of the things that really is a big problem, you know, and in light of, as what he said, you know, with the situation in Africa, whereas though we're saying Africa, but I mean, that in itself shows that we, in many ways, are ignorant of even how they communicate with themselves, you know, so going into that, you know, with us not really having total control over our situation, you know, we need to kind of focus on ourselves before we get into this whole situation of a geopolitical situation, I guess you could call it,
whereas though, like, you know, the Nigerians may not like the Ghanaians. I mean, we're like thrusting ourselves into a situation where we're kind of ignorant of, is what I think the point that was being made from what I got out, you know, the information.
That point was being made during the rapid fire when you said I got destroyed, though.
Well, yeah, but he destroyed you on the points because he was corny doing a lot of things and made it sound. It made you sound like he was kind of proving his point of why would you want to be here with a person that's against you as opposed to uniting with your own people? That's the picture he was painting.
Hey, Taz, I got a question for you though, because
I didn't attack Liberia enough, is what you're saying. I got you.
Right.
Hey, Taz, I got a question for you because we started laughing in the back when you did this because you know you was all pro.
You didn't.
You was all pro. You know what I'm saying? Pro heterosexual and all that. Why did you bring up the point? Why did you bring up the point that gays felt more safer in America than they do in Africa?
Because it's a legitimate point, ain't it?
Right.
I mean, I understand what you said, but we just, you know, the energy that you was bringing out for the Cube debate and all that, bro.
I'm
100%. I'm still 100%.
Yeah, I know. I just said the irony behind it, though, bro.
You know what I can say about that part, though? Like, I felt like that. I felt like that almost hurt you, though. Not whether it was right or not. The response that he gave for it, and then you stayed there.
Right.
It had a negative impact.
Blue brought up
because niggas didn't want to hear no gay talk. That's on why. But
no. Listen to the point.
No, that's not what I'm
talking about. Listen to the point. The point is, we shouldn't build a relationship with Africa because America is gay friendly. That's a funny line, bro.
Oh, that's how you took it, bro.
Yeah, that's how
that was his
point. I didn't take it like that.
I didn't get it like that.
That's what the line was.
That is not how Taz meant it at all.
That was not bad. But now Blue brought up a good point when he said
it was more to throw him off.
Yeah, I know, but Blue doesn't get Blue is a cold-blooded, sleuth-like assassin. You know, and I kind of mad he turned up. I don't know if that took away from his mental stability. You know what I'm saying? Like he went against his superpower because people encouraged him. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
I actually liked the turn up though. It was like.
Me too, bro. But I wonder if it took away from his thought process, his clarification.
Oh yeah, well maybe because usually it's the other way around. Usually he's kind of on point for a structure, but it's not enough energy into the. So I can see what you saying with that. I just think that he just had to like this. It was just about a structure thing. That's what it was. It was kind of like. You got to word it a certain type of way. It was really like a simple thing.
That shit was hard.
I think the hardest part for me is when you look at all three of the judges, even though they had three different points of views, I lightweight agreed with all of them. Like, that's how crazy this debate was.
That shit was
like, normally I'd be mad at a judge for saying tie, but I almost couldn't be mad at Garfield. I mean, he don't normally judge over here, so I'm sure for him it's hard. Like, it was a hard debate to judge, bro. I'm not even gonna, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Like, it
was disgusting. Now, peep this out.
Yeah, let me get in on it from here.
See me put your hand down.
I don't care nothing about what you say. Hey, I got a real quick question for Blue. Is that boat behind you? Is that the one you going fishing on?
Oh no!
And it is on, and they're off.
Hey, but let me. I want to address Taz, and so he can understand why I voted for Blue. Because I felt kind of like Garfield through the entire debate. That the debate was very close. It was a tie for me for a very long time, and so what I want to explain to Taz is like, especially in the opening round,
and I said this in the judgment, but I didn't explain it. Blue, shut your mouth, son. Blue rebutted your premise in his opening. So he didn't really give an opening, right? So I was waiting to see if you caught that, Taz, and you didn't. What you did?
Oh, what? Wait. Caught what?
The fact that he rebut. I'm kidding about what Taz.
No, he actually
listen to me. Listen.
No, he did say it though.
Yeah, I said it. No.
He did say that. He called it out.
No, he didn't. No, he did. I'm gonna tell you what he did. No, I'm going to tell you what he did. I want you to listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. That's fine. I'm glad you said that, but I'm gonna tell you where you messed up. Okay.
Look at both.
So Blue rebutted your premise in his opening. So I was going to tag him on that, right? But what you did was that you rebutted his rebuttal of your opening.
Thank you.
Listen, bro. You everything that Blue rebutted from your during his opening. If you would have just came with your premise and not follow his rebuttal opening and just came with your opening straight, you would have been way ahead of him in the debate. But he got you.
I only called out that he did it, bro.
No, you didn't just do that. That's what I'm saying. You didn't just do that, and you can rewind the tape. I get you, but you can rewind the tape. But you spend most of your time rebutting what he you rebutted what he rebutted. So for me, that canceled out what Blue did.
Thank you, God.
So listen what I'm saying. So I gave you even. So I gave y'all. I scored y'all even in that opening. Even though Blue, for me, I flagged him for doing that, but because you rebutted what he rebutted in your opening, you didn't really give a true opening. You just did it. Yeah. I get it. It was crazy.
No, I mean, I get why you saying that though.
So I'm just saying, don't fall into that.
What I'm telling you is this though. Don't fall for that. When you listen to it and play it back, you will see that I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I actually wasn't. And I'm gonna tell you how you don't know. Because that first slide, it just hinges off of what he left with. It just hinges off of it. But then I go on defining the debate. But like my slides for the opening just happened to be something he was talking about. But I didn't rebut him at all. I
saw that too, Taz.
Unfortunately, big bro.
I saw y'all talking about two different occasions. I promise I saw both of that, bro. The beginning of your premise, coincidentally, you had information in there. But then it was you went into rebuttal in the premise in the opening. Blue went into a rebuttal in the opening, trying to clip your legs on your premise.
Yeah.
That's how I'm looking at it. That's why I'm like, I was blindsided, bro.
That's exactly what it was. So for me, it was then who was going to make the better argument from then on out. And then what you did at the very end of your opening, you start begging the question. And I get that. That's a fallacy of itself. But Blue, in this debate, all those three fallacies he called out, you never did one of those at all. Right? The fallacy that you did do quite often was begging the question. And had he said that, you wouldn't have got, I would have hit you harder. That's to me. I think both of y'all did a little shit.
Let me get up in here, y'all.
Go ahead.
Come on here. Let me say this, man. Blue, great job. But see,
we appreciate you making the decision tonight too.
Yeah, man. Let me holler at y'all, young bloods.
Go ahead.
When Taz and Anonymous did 14 debates in 2 weeks.
Okay.
You put rocket fuel in the rocket ship.
Talk about it.
See, Taz still on fire.
On fire.
See, y'all was getting one debate a month. This man had an opportunity to read y'all up and down for 2 weeks straight. And he read his book well. He read his lessons real well. All Blue had to do was save the laundry list of logical fallacies for the rebuttal one.
Exactly.
So what Taz did,
damn it, Consul, stop giving away these damn secrets.
What Taz did, I give him credit, man. When Taz replied bar for bar about Marcus Garvey, he exposed the logical fallacy of appeal from emotion that Blue did in the beginning.
Right.
And that's tough because Blue repeated twice in his rebuttal round as if judges, we don't hear you. We hear you. You had to bring up Marcus Garvey twice.
Yep. I got it, guys.
So now you're trying to, you dig in a little bit. But it was a great debate. It was tough, man. I don't even know how y'all. I came close to not picking nobody.
Damn. So did I.
Damn.
So did I.
Damn.
So did I.
Bro, if that
shit would have been crazy.
That's how hard of a debate, and I'm mad, like I said, because
that's why.
But it was also some execution shit. Like it was.
Who's gonna win from John?
Listen,
you said what?
But listen,
I told everybody Taz was gonna win, but I thought it was gonna be way different. Right? I thought
that was the hardest debate I've judged. That was, I mean, like.
Nobody went down a little bit.
That's a hard debate because I told motherfuckers, y'all know we watch it in the Zoom. Taz, like, no, you should record that shit and throw that shit up. So I recorded it. Yeah. See y'all reaction of the judges? No? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Let's get it. Shit, you act like y'all don't give a fuck. Like this ain't the guy.
Nah, let's run it up, dude.
Oh, okay. Nah, niggas think.
Well, I was saying, play that shit as a peer tomorrow.
Yeah. I was thinking how
video. Hey, but Taz, I loved your argument, though, bro. I loved your argument.
I just do it a separate show.
I just felt like Blue edged out because it was so close. He got you like by a nose to me because of the rapid fire. But
yeah,
I would have judged if I felt like I could have just made a judgment like it's a tie. I would have did it, but I feel like that's kind of.
But I'm calling myself doing the rapid fire right by
I hear you now.
Bullshit.
Yeah, and I hear that from you now. But like, I get it because it kind of felt like to me like,
the thing was, Taz, you didn't flop. You bagged off too easily instead of saying, man, let me answer the question. Let me answer. Bro, you cut me off. You didn't do none of that. And Blue is passive aggressive. His aggression don't seem like he's bullying Taz. It's like he's
and he don't normally do that. Blue don't normally do that.
Even though real talk, he was kind of like cutting your answer short, but it was like you didn't fight back to say, hold on, bro. Let me get 30 seconds. He was like, huh? And you rescinded. You know what I'm saying?
So, because in my mind, again, I'm still hearing the judges say no talking over, no this, no that. If it's his round.
Yeah, but if you feeling he talking over you, asking the questions, you got to say that shit.
Now, you gotta remember too, that was one of Melvin's pet peeves.
Right, I don't really care. Y'all could cuss each other.
That was Melvin's and Daniel Hayru's pet peeve.
I've heard it a couple times. That's why I was being careful.
Yeah, I don't care. I can hear the information through the chaos. I can still hear
other fucking rapid fire round though, bro. Like I said, I'm gonna have to get on here and start wilding out during the rapid fire round. That's the only thing that's because every time I'm answering questions,
he's gonna vote against you.
Yeah, but there's a method.
I'm being voted against anyway in the rapid fire round. Why the fuck not to turn up?
Yeah, that's because you suck, bro.
I think that's, but I really think that's where Blue. I think he shined the most. He just feels comfortable in that rapid fire round. But like the debate was close, and so that's the only edge I had because I thought it was. Honestly, I thought it was a tie as well. To be honest,
man, I did the most thorough rebuttal in the history of Solar Vision Debate League, man. paper written
but
down.
You did great, but I feel
you
like
did. I mean, you did good. It showed
you did great, but I feel like Blue left it too close to actually take it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
agreed.
So that's really what caused it. You feel me? You came in ready to play, doing what you do. You feel me? But the fact that he left it too close, it was just, you know what I mean? You was able to eat that nigga food.
Left it close by saying I said Marcus Garvey calls Tulsa, bro.
I didn't. Yeah, you didn't say that at all. And I said that.
No, I mean
that's
I mean, I
don't
gotta throw there like you said, fed it right now. Now what I'm saying,
that nigga looked at the screen for a long time when he said that.
Even Blue said that.
Like he said, Marcus Garvey calls Tulsa.
Like the one time I ain't coming at that nigga, this nigga wanna play. Like,
I actually was looking at the chat and I thought something messed up. I'm like, what the fuck? He froze or something?
Hey, Chad, they tore your ass up when you started talking about the LGBT shit, but they tore your ass up.
Oh my life,
I was like, wow.
It was smart though. It was smart though. It was smart though.
I mean, I'm just using data. Like, I don't know why
it was necessary though. I think it was desperate. I don't even think that was necessary.
You know the first dude that said something in the chat room when you said the LGBT, the dude that wanted to debate you with the Kevin Samuels.
Oh shit! WTB nigga.
So he does support the LGBTQ.
I saw that.
He said, I don't want nothing bad to happen to him though, bro. We're talking about two different arguments.
Yeah, that's but once again, you gotta remember we caught up in the euphoria. So it's like we making punches, haymakers, and jab punches. You know what I'm saying? Like we in it, like, oh shit, that's crazy. That look crazy. That nigga just said.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, pay us no attention. Just, tolerate us and try to understand our logic. You know what I'm saying? But this shit was dope. This shit was cold, bro. That shit was cold.
It was a hell of a debate.
Hey, run that Swab. Run that.
All right, let's get it. That shit was better than the Mayweather fight. And I want you to know that Domo went to a fight party. That's why he's not doing the post-debate show. Because he closed a fucking fight party over the fucking playoffs. That's why he cannot be champion this year.
All right, we're going to start out with Yara. It's on you, brother.
Peace to the debaters. It's a very
why are we doing this? Why are we doing this?
You said you want to learn
for your next, so you can learn for your next debate.
No.
Learn what? Nigga, I can't learn shit listening to you.
That's how you're gonna lose.
I've already heard that.
This is
nigga, I want to know.
Hold on.
He's playing the reaction.
You're in winner.
You want to hear a reaction from the judges?
Yeah, he's playing the song, bro.
Hey, Swab. Also, you need to play this on a separate show tomorrow, like so they have it separate.
Yeah, we can play the whole thing.
I'm not going to try to beleaguer this long, but I do want to just address a few things.
In this energy, he don't want to get the blue.
I'm going to start with Tab. He talked about what Black Americans can focus on before we can build a relationship with Africa. And then I think he sort of stayed with that throughout his presentation, throughout the debate, in regards to the focus on. And understand that there's no united Black America. And in that regards,
oh shit, I forgot how long this shit is. Hold on. Let me fast forward to his ruling and then we can get to it. Hold on.
About this a lot. And what I heard, that's the notes I had. Talked about Oprah. So I thought those were very strong Black Americans. He also talked on, he was trying to show that they could. Overall, I thought he had a great debate. And so then I'll go to Blue.
Oh, shit. Okay, good judging. Good judging. All right.
I don't really think they both executed as best that they possibly could with this title. So with that said, I have to give the edge to Blue.
All right, so you're saying you give the edge to Blue?
Yeah, I vote to Blue.
All right. Thanks a lot, brother. We're gonna go ahead and bring on Garfield. Garfield, it is on you, brother.
My book.
Alrighty.
My book.
First of all, very good breakdown, my brother. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I will say the guy Blue from the beginning. He came to the debate like, yeah, you know what? This is my debate. I like his delivery, and I don't agree with a lot of his information. But since I'm the judge, it's not about what I agree with or not. But I would say Taz was too much offensive throughout the debate, and I felt like if you had the advantage because you came on second, so you had the chance to rebut him. But I don't think Taz did a very strong job in rebutting Blue's arguments. But I will say this: on the definition, the 1828 stuff and the John Hanson stuff. I mean, obviously, I don't agree with none of that stuff. But Blue, very good delivery. I would say this, because I want to do this real fast, and I don't want to stay too long, because you already did an excellent breakdown and everything. But I would say that the rapid round, Blue won that round. I think Blue won that particular round. The first round, I would give it to Taz. Overall, man, I don't know. I'm not trying to. I would say it's a tie. I didn't have a clear winner of who won. Whether I agree personally or not, I can't. I didn't see a clear winner of the actual.
Now, how the hell does he start out and say, "I was on fire"?
Talk about it.
I had him on the defensive. He was 2 on the defensive. No, go ahead.
But he ain't saying him being on defensive wore him down though. He didn't say that,
bro.
He just said he was on the defensive.
Yeah, I think you know what, and as he was breaking down, it's really showing how advanced we are as a debate league. You know, it's like, you know, because he was just ignorant to certain nuances. How, you know, to judge the premise. So he kind of broke it into like 2 parts, which we kind of did in our own way, you know, but it's centered around how we structure things over here. So he was pretty much saying kind of the same thing about like you won the rapid fire round, but like, you know, the opening, you know, he kind of gives it to Taz. So I guess he was referring to the opening as just like the regular debate for his opening premise and rebuttal. But you know, it seemed like he was for Blue. That's what I was thinking. That's what I thought when he began. It seemed like he was giving the vote to Blue. But he stepped back from that. You know, that's what it seemed like to me. You know, and threw the draw in there. And he threw in the statement of, even though I disagree with Blue, you know, that pretty much that he was like, you know, he had the energy, he beat him up in a rapid fire round convincingly. And it seemed like he was a little wary about the rounds. Like, you know, so I think he gave you the energy and he gave you the rapid fire round. And then he gave Taz, you know, the actual premise, you know, the opening rounds, you know. It's kind of what it seemed like, you know, to me, you know. So it seemed like to me that he was kind of on the fence, whether he's going to make it a tie or give it to Blue. That's kind of what it seemed like to me.
Both judges agreed with him. Both judges said they almost tied him.
That's all good.
All right, let's get this.
All right, I'll get there. All right. So we're gonna pass this thing now over to Kasu. Kasu, it is on you, brother.
Yeah, what's going on, man? I like to say, man, it's interesting sometimes. Judges always seem to be on the same thing.
I want you to know what you put us through, Constant. I don't know if you was walking, running, flying, falling.
Garfield took a lot of sitting inside the wrong house. When y'all made a statement, said, I don't want to be a echo chamber here. But what I will say, I had to break it down in technical skill. I had to break it down because the county council took it out. I'm a broken record. You know, I've said this all season. Your premise makes the debate. If you have a topic that is so informal like this, it's hard to bring objective evidence because one person's going to be formal and the other person's going to be informal. And that's hell for a judge to try to make a decision because either one of you are debating in the same context. Informal debates is what Blue came with. It really didn't come with a lot of talking points that were very powerful supporting his claim. However, Taz wanted to take a more empirical approach. It came with data. It came with real-time information. Unfortunately, the both debaters are not on the same page with the premise. It turns into a technical battle. It started breaking down and culminating into the interrogation round when they started playing word semantics. No, I said this word. No, you said that word. And that always is going to happen. The debaters are not, they don't have a consensus about who's going to be for or against.
Don't worry in the building.
It's going to always be classic. The debaters don't take time to understand and unpack the topic. I will say the rebuttal round task impressive because Blue came on the offensive man. Blue was swinging from the jump. He called them on a logical fallacies from the jump. Taz handled it very well by answering those fallacies because I did hear what Taz said just opposed to what Blue claimed. Taz cleared that up. Now we're going into a dead heat though because Blue had such an amazing opening round. I gave a draw and the actual premise. I thought they both set the tone equally, but the deciding factor was that rebuttal round. I looked at the interrogation round as a draw. I saw a lot of conjecture back and forth, but nobody really had the edge. In the closing round, it was so begging the question for me. It wasn't really concise, and I could see where the Garfield was coming from going into that closing round. So with that being said, I really have to give this one right here to Brother Taz. So I'm going to give it to Taz for this one. I thought that he was a little bit more and brought something objective. Oh man, someone got to break this up.
So at this point, it is a tie. So that means I have to inject myself into the judging. The opening round, I think that as what Judge Jawa said, I think that Blue was a little more so in rebuttal mode, a little bit in the opening round. I think that he had some very strong arguments, but it didn't sound like an opening. So there will be some points taken off of that. The premise round, I think that he laid down a solid premise. The rebuttal, I would have to give to, as well as what Kansu said, I would have to give the rebuttal to Taz. I think that Blue had the rapid fire round. The closing was pretty much a deadlock, in my opinion. So once again, I think that this shit close as fuck. I think that Taz had the opening, the premise. So congratulations to Taz. Moving on. And this is an excellent debate by Bill. Unfortunately, we just fell a little short. Shout out to both the debaters. We're going to talk about this in the argument league because this should be very interesting. So if you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe to the argument league. I think that the brother was throwing the link inside of the chat room. Swag Boss was throwing the link inside of the chat room. If you haven't subscribed to the argument league, go ahead and subscribe to it now. Once again, shout out to both debaters. This was an excellent debate. Terrence moves on and Bill goes home. I thought that was on the recording. We're going to get out of here for now. This is the Solar Vision debate. The next debate, once again, will be on the 13th. It will be between Minister Howell and Anonymous Hebrew. Does the order of Melchizedek and the law of Moses operate simultaneously under the new covenant? So make sure you be in the building for that family. This is the Solar Vision Debate League.
Wow. Oh, boy. I thought
Drop the link in the chat, man.
I thought, hey, listen, when I heard that rapid fire,
before they closed
I
up,
gave that the blue. I gave it the blue.
I'm like, man,
that blue straw man in a rapid fire, bro, to where he acquiesced to the stuff he was saying, and Taz didn't even make that argument about trying to hook up with white men.
That's exactly what I said with that hooking man said, and I did not hear that nigga say that shit.
Yep. I got a question. But that's what I'm question. I'm still trying to hear that though.
Yeah. Everybody's saying the same thing, my nigga. Like everybody's saying
right, because you're both dumb. That's why I want to hear it.
Well, everybody's dumb but you, brother.
No, nigga, what was dumb was that stinking scarf on your face.
Hey, Chaz, we gonna put it on a separate video so everybody can use it.
Bruh, I want to. No, bruh.
Yo,
if you gonna tell me I did, show me what I did today.
That nigga play the rap.
Hey, Blue, you going fishing in Ghana?
Man, I'm going to Liberia.
Liberia.
525 views.
Hey, you gonna get eaten by one of them Liberian fish. Chaz was talking about the other day.
That nigga was sitting there debating Liberia the whole goddamn time, and nobody, I called it out. No credit for it. Like I called out 53 nations over the for debating Africa. Talk about logical fallacies, man. This shit is crazy, bro. Like I'm just. Like I say, I get it, but it don't make sense to call it out when you don't get credit for it.
Hey, I mean, you think that was the end all be all in the rapid fire round because you made that one point?
This nigga so hungry.
No, but what I'm saying is he hinged this rapid fire round on fallacies. He tried to create an argument around something I didn't say, and because I ain't arguing with him about it,
then you recorded all that shit for.
You telling me you lose because of that, bro? You like you dominate like saying YouTube. I just want to hear it again. That's all.
All right, let's get it.
I just want to hear it.
I want to hear that when you fighting, you think you won. You know what I'm saying? You think you won when you actually
that was dominant. Oh yeah, and remind you the last words that I want to remind you too that the last words you said before this round in your rebuttal was about building the nation here. I just want to remind you that that was the last thing that you said because I already wrote that part down. And that was my first question.
So you should have asked me what do I define as building a nation because you try to define it for me. And
bro.
They credited me.
Why would I ask you that?
He's slick.
Because we're talking about because we're talking about what we're supposed to be focused on.
You said, ask me what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, like he ain't gonna throw you out of you so you can dunk it and shit.
But that's what I'm saying. But I pointed that fact out during the debate. So how is that a benefit to him?
I think we all had a great understanding of what nation building is. of what building the nation is.
But I didn't use that term. I didn't use the term nation building. I didn't use the term nation building whatsoever. I don't use
that's
that
like your last
catchphrase.
Yeah, he did use
no,
the term
not nation building. I said building the nation. I did say nation building, but I meant to say building the nation.
Right, but if you play it back, if you play it back, contextually, what I'm just talking about is working together.
See here, it really doesn't make sense. They aren't in position to do anything for us, and that's what we need to understand. When he said we, he gave you Sierra Leone, he gave you Ghana, he gave you Liberia, but it's 51 other nations at play, and everybody ain't dealing with you the same way. It's not what he makes it out to be, as if it's one global African family. And that argument in itself is problematic, because when you say they focus on economics, the focus on economics should happen in your local economy. That's what I was showing you.
That one of them that wrapped the fire around.
How much time I got left?
No, this the end of his.
That was definitely the major point in that rap.
So that's about building.
This the end of his.
Well, that was a rebuttal. I mean, that's what won that rebuttal. That was probably the best point in the rebuttal.
Towards the end of his rebuttal, where he mentioned building.
Yeah, because it was close, bro. That was, you know. Yeah, that was it. You know, that was it.
But I don't talk about building the nation in the regard of the conscious community mindset, though. So that's what I'm saying. You tried to use that as an argument, but it was false because I never.
Yeah, but you didn't explain that there though. So
you didn't give me a chance. You didn't wait.
Exactly.
No, but Blue, like, feel. But what I'm saying is,
I would never give you that chance.
Okay, so right, all right, so yeah, so let's just turn up during the rapid fire round.
No, that's not a turn up. But I moved on to the next question.
Bullshit,
all I needed to know was that
they said you dominated me.
I don't need to know.
Hey, bro, what you need to do is, you know, look at the OJ case, man. Like, it's like. This is nothing that's like, you know, alien.
I'm talking
about far as with interrogation.
I wanted to answer that.
I'm talking about far as interrogation. Like, this is nothing that is new in dialogue. Whether it's political, whether it's during a presidential debate, whether it's during, you know, court.
Y'all right.
They want to paint. His whole objective is to paint a picture. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta avoid that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I want to listen to it, man. Hold on 1 second.
You know, and this is what this is why Yara is very good at what he does in a rap. He literally said that. He said he literally looks at court cases. He works at in the court, but he looked at the OJ case, you know, to see the dialogue and the interrogation and how to, you know, you got to maneuver around the question. You know, you don't want him to paint that picture. That's the goal.
Right.
And talking over him is not going to.
That's the point I'm trying to make to you, though, in terms of integrity. I didn't maneuver around shit. I answered directly, and I got docked for it. Just understand that moving forward.
Right, but this is what I'm saying. You don't have to be dishonest. You don't have to be dishonest.
Hold on. Let me. Like, what he's explaining is, bro, is like it's defense that you got to play. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you could be upfront. You don't gotta lie. You don't gotta show a lack of integrity. But at the same time, it's ways to not answer questions the way that you
know that no more. But I thought in my mind, we're in the playoffs. We're not supposed to be doing that. We're supposed to be getting it on the topic straight up. Don't do no rabbit hole shit. That's in my mind. That's what I'm trying to avoid. Is Brian said that shit. My understanding of America is this, and where you got to cut me off and say, no, you're taking up my time. And you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I didn't want to get, and that's why I'm saying play it, so you can hear me say, no, that's not my understanding of it. I'm just answering concise. But I mean, but you telling me I should have went down the rabbit hole in this shit.
No, I mean, not even going down the rabbit hole, but making it harder for him to ask the questions that he want to ask. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay,
so
if I see what you're
trying to do, it's a fucking game. Yeah, it's a fucking game. You got winners and losers.
Yeah,
that's like a game.
Sport. This is a debate sport, which makes
bro. Like you didn't get it. Like
y'all want to play game.
It's a person that the judges have to choose. The judges have to choose winners and losers, bro.
I don't even look at it like playing a game.
You niggas want to play games.
It's more so. It's more so.
Be careful, niggas. You got a debate coming up, niggas. Don't win unless you want to play games.
Listen. I'm just trying to make it debatable, nigga. You a play.
It's gonna be ready to make
nigga.
You a play, nigga. You better play, nigga.
No, you need to box with me a couple more times, Taz.
You already
You need to spar with me a couple times to get on that rapid fire.
I don't need to get
on that rapid fire round.
But you know what, Solar? That's a good
point.
point. You know why?
That is a good point.
Because you, in the previous seasons, we had to go through the debate and the Shucklebuck round.
Yeah.
The Shucklebuck round prepares you for this rapid. Will prepare you for the rapid fire.
I don't understand what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying, bro. I understand what you're saying.
Now, what Taz is saying is that I can do that, but I was just under the assumption that we wasn't going there. We know what you're saying, and you know.
It's just how though, bro. It
doesn't matter in which
like play it, just play it. Yeah, I didn't quite go in like that. I was touchy. I kind of let you go. But then I would let go of the rope a little bit. Like it was
literally in a real court case. I was in a court and I sent them the YouTube. This is what the thing with Oh God. I sent them the YouTube, the pricing of the YouTube and how YouTube is priced. I literally sent that to them because they requested it. So she's in court and she's like, yeah, well, do you have, the actual file to show how much money is being made per month on YouTube? And I'm like, yeah, I sent that to you. She said, well, she didn't say that she didn't have it. She didn't deny it. She said, well, no, do you have it? Do you have it? The actual file? I said, no, I sent it to you. So she's like, Your Honor, he doesn't have the actual file. But I said, look, I got the receipt where I sent it to her, and I have a copy of the file. So she was trying to play that whole thing, hoping that I didn't do that. She wasn't lying though, but she was going to lean on maybe my ignorance of what to do. You know what I'm saying? And she was hoping that since I sent her the actual file, that I wasn't going to have the backup shit.
Right. Because she's not obligated to submit that to the court. So she was hoping that you didn't have nothing to evidence to enter before the judge entered into the record.
So it was my mistake to send her the actual file as opposed to the copy, and she was on that. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go and, when I got a legal advice, they said, you send her the actual copy? She did. So I had to do the backup. So she was going to play the game. Like, not denying that she ain't got it. She has it. But she's like, you can't prove it type shit. That's what she was going to lean on.
Facts.
That's similar to what you really have to do here. It's not like you're lying, but you don't want to make it easy for the debater to prove their argument and construct their argument.
Let me ask you a question, Taz, if you don't mind. How come, how you was bringing up our younger, our youth being in gangs and stuff like that? Why you didn't ask Blue a question towards that in your rapid fire? Like, would you rather have focused on, our youth being in gangs or trying to go over there and fix Liberia?
Because I don't think the two go together. That, what I'm saying? What he claimed I was going to do is what I didn't do. You know what I'm saying? That was that you can't do one or the other. So I think we can work on the youth not being in gangs, and people can still, work towards that goal in Liberia or whatever. I don't think one prevents you from doing the other. So I wouldn't.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I wouldn't use that because one ain't gonna prevent you from doing the other. You can do both of them.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Well, there will be.
What the fuck is up with the draw though? Like, the fuck is Garfield doing?
Shit, all three of them.
No, you know what I think, which is you know in somewhat defense. Let me cut off my air conditioner.
He didn't want to fuck up.
And again, I think that he figured, like, I don't really think that he really paid too much attention because they have a stereotype of what we do over here. I think he realized, damn, this shit is serious.
Some shit.
And that's why he was like, Yara did an excellent breakdown. I think he, like, you know, I think what he realized was like, damn, this is a lot more constructive than what I thought. Let me just take the even route. If it was a close debate, let me just take the even route in this because I don't really want to fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of kudos to him, and it kind of showed, you know, because he was really like ignorant of the nuances of how the judging was being judged here. So I think he took the even route to say, you know what, I'm not going out of my ignorance. I'm not going to really decide the fate of the debater, you know. So you know that's what I think he did. You know.
You know what's the rule in law school? For a lawyer, Chaz?
No, he don't.
Ask the questions that you already know the answers to. Never ask the person you cross-examining. You don't ask him any questions that you don't already know the answer.
Right, but that's okay, and that works with someone who doesn't have a history of being ready for that. That's what I'm saying. If you're going against a rapid fire champion, you can't prepare like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna give me the answer.
That's how you gotta
but that ain't always true though, because again, even though niggas like to analogize this with court, since you have an opponent, you can actually build arguments off of them clarifying what the fuck it is they say.
I do that shit all the time.
Like if you give a nigga enough rope, he'll hang himself.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like
that's what I thought I did though. That's why I didn't understand why or how I lost this rapid fire round that still ain't been played yet.
Y'all keep
talking. I mean, but nigga, if you won the debate, I don't give a fuck what nigga say. If you won the debate, you won the fucking rapid fire.
No. Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, but this is what I came into the debate talking about, though, that specific round. You know, this was just something I'm not doing right that I think I'm doing right because I didn't think I did anything wrong.
Yeah, I know what it is. You ain't gonna set it till you win the championship. That's what it is.
I think you're looking for like you're looking for like a cookie cutter type of way of operating there, and what is more so like the Blue what Blue did was almost like whatever he's gonna find to fuck with you on. So this is not like a cookie cutter thing, you know, with the rapid fire round. And that's kind of why Blue is probably good at it because he can freestyle. Like he was looking for something. You can see that he was looking for something. He said, oh, okay, so you're saying since you said that, kind of what Domo was alluding to. Like, you know, since you said that, okay, now let me try to put you in the
question. That was crazy. I had my rapid fire was the first thing I had done for this debate. But what's crazy is once he said that, I threw all of those really out of the window.
So yeah, it's not like a cookie cutter thing, you know. You know, prepare for it. But you know, when like for me, like when I do the Shuckle Buck, I write about like 4 or 5 things. I never get past like the 3rd question. You know what I'm saying? Like I never get past the 3rd one. I just really rank them. Which one would probably be the checkmate question? And it's usually the first or the second one. You know, so it's like, you know, but everything else after that is freestyle based off of how you answer the question. You know, so it doesn't really matter yes or no. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter.
Listen, all I know is this nigga ain't about to look good off me. I don't give a fuck, nigga. You ain't about to look good. I don't give a fuck what the fuck I got to say. You're gonna have to. It's gonna be more like this nigga Domo, man. That's what it's gonna be. It ain't gonna be like
remember Domo literally did that. He literally did that. Like no, I'm not. No.
He was too willing to incriminate himself. Like it was sick. It was like, bro, why did you?
But he knows that. Taz knows better. It's almost like a motherfucker asking you.
He was like,
so you were at the scene of the crime?
So are you saying
yes,
the federal
I was.
government?
Did you have the gun in your hand? Yes, I did. And the man, mind you, he didn't do this shit in real life. He really didn't do it.
But it was.
So this nigga ain't saying shit like, yeah, I had the gun, but I was selling it to this motherfucker. He ain't even adding that shit. Yeah, I did have the gun. Oh, so you were at the scene of the crime with the gun in your hand? Yes.
Hold on. But has anybody explained to this nigga Blue that this Liberian shit was not what it was?
Taz
was. Other than Taz, Taz was the only one.
No, Taz didn't do it. No, but Taz, I think, made an even better argument, which would be like we're talking about all of Africa, and Africa is not even united with this. So,
can I say something though? If you would agree,
hold on. Cause see, like I get Taz's argument, but I'm talking about in terms of Blue's approach. Nigga, it's like, nigga, you supposed to be diaspora, nigga.
Not even that.
You're supposed to be like, nigga, we're supposed to be talking about identity. We're supposed to be talking about culture, nigga. We're supposed to be quoting Malcolm. You feel me? You can't hate the roots of the tree and not hate the tree. You gotta have a relationship with your roots to understand yourself. Nigga, you supposed to be going back.
Hey, Taz, let me ask you a question. Did you know?
Hold on, you can.
I was gonna get ready to go to bed.
Yeah, hold on. Cause look, this is what I'm saying. You feel me? But look, to connect, nigga, to connect.
Connect on the 19th, nigga.
See, now listen, I ain't doing no tripping, cause I would have had you out here looking bad, nigga. I would have had you out here looking bad, nigga.
Hey, Donald, give me 5 minutes. I'm finna get ready to go to bed because I gotta go to work.
I don't even know if you're gonna be there, fam.
Hey, Taz.
Hey, talk like that. I want you to talk like that. Don't think I'm gonna be there.
Hey, Taz, let me ask you a question.
I want you to talk like that, nigga.
I don't care who there, nigga.
Taz, let me ask you a question. Did you
know? I don't care who there. I'm there.
Did you know that he was Blue was black? Talk about.
Did you know I was there, nigga? Did you know that?
Taz.
No, nigga, no. I'm talking to Domo, nigga. This nigga still got a fucking
nigga, you lucked up. But now you just about to be another body, nigga.
I know what you doing,
about to be another body, nigga. I would have cooked you.
I think Domo smelled blood, man. He smelled blood, bro.
I know what this is, though. I know what this is.
He got it shaky out there that rapid fire round.
You know what I'm saying? I damn sure ain't let him have a party, so I got it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
You didn't know about Liberia until your debate, right?
Of course I did.
So you knew before the debate that he was going to talk about Liberia?
Not as heavy, no.
Okay.
No, I didn't know he was. I didn't know he was going to stick on Liberia, and to be honest, I thought that was hurting him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I don't know why.
It did hurt him when you said what you said.
Yeah, because listen, I googled up Liberia during his debate. Come to find out, they had 250,000 people killed in the Civil War. They also got a lot of rape and murder and all that going on with the women and the children and the kids. Plus, it's one of the poorest countries in Africa.
So I was hoping he was gonna go there.
Right? Yeah, that wasn't gonna go there though.
Because you know how we got power, bro. Do you see that was really, I was praying he would have brought it. Because when he said coup, I was trying to get it in then. Oh, because really what happens, you got Charles Taylor ends up going, what happens at the coup in 1980 that we had a coup, that's what starts the war, right? So they knock off our president. A nigga come from America, bro, go to Liberia.
Did you bring that up in the debate, though?
And knock the dude off in general. I did.
Shout out to Solomon.
I did, but I ain't really, just as a show of power, because that's why I was trying to show, like when we left alone, we actually show power, bro. We actually get shit done.
And peace to the league. Hey, shout out to the Domo. Shout out to Goldmine. Shout out to Swag Boss, the People's Champ. Hey, Taz, congratulations. Hey, big ups to you, Blue. You know what I'm saying?
Kick him in the nuts. You ain't gonna kick him in the nuts.
Because see, that's what kind of hurt me, because I wanted him to go. I was hoping he would go to the atrocities to the Civil War like period. Like, nigga, that was something for black, you know what I'm saying? Because I could explain that all the way away, and like, nigga, that's something for black people. Like, nigga, that was like shit. Black people, that was a time black people was executed on live TV, and then we went back ourselves building an army, my nigga, and knocked off the dude that knocked off our dude. Like, we ain't did.
See, maybe I was just safe, but that's what I was trying to avoid. Though I didn't want to get into any arguments that would allow you to say this. This is why we need to establish a relationship. To be honest, I felt like you never made that point. I feel like you never made a point about why we should rebuild. You was going in so hard on America that I didn't even want to spark your interest on making any other argument, because you was making a lot of argument about why not to stay here, as opposed to why not let's invest in the continent. It wasn't. I didn't debate investing with Blue. And so, you know what I'm saying, that's where I was kind of thrown off at too, because I expected more of the economic argument. I expected more of the continent. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I only heard Liberia.
And you know what? Now I can say what I was saying earlier, which was the key to success, bro. I would have went in, if I was Blue, I would have went in so fucking heavy on how damn near black people and Africans are damn near the same people, right? Making straight argumentation about the connection, you know what I'm saying, why the diaspora is important, you feel me, all that other shit. Understanding ourselves, we got to understand the continent, all of that. Taz would have came and attempted to make a distinction, right? Like saying we not the same people. You feel me?
No, I wouldn't have done that.
Oh, then you would have been done. Then you would have been done. Because
I was because even when he made the argument, because it's actually organizations that is trying to formulate adding the diaspora Africans into.
You're not gonna be with that argument
into the African nations to represent themselves along with the African nations. He could have went into that, even the African Union, you know, to rebut this idea of a disunified Africa. He could have got into that.
But if he asked me about how I feel about,
but see, y'all talking about the wrong shit. Y'all talking about like organizations and that. Nah, bro, you gotta go internally, right? You gotta go to like understanding blackness. You feel me? Like if you disconnect your understanding of being black from the relationship that it has with Africa, you feel me? You're undermining what makes blackness black. So that's why we have to focus on establishing that relationship, because our understanding of self is too inundated, is too influenced by these outside cultures, things that are actually things that are actually derogatory. Derogatory. Yeah, I know you exactly, nigga. I know you thought you would have ate that shit the fuck up. I know, and I knew you would have licked your motherfucking child.
Come with your own African argument. You would have licked your motherfucking child. You could be next to die on the ground.
But it's crazy. So this what I did though, this is the reason why I mainly wanted to focus on
back to African garbage.
But the reason why I chose to hone in on Ghana, Sierra Leone, and Liberia is just because I was shielding myself from his argument as far as against those and him resonating that with the judges as opposed to me. So what I did, I wanted to set it up to where you can't deny those are people, because we went over there and built that, you know what I'm saying, those places. So that's what I really, you know what I'm saying, that's how I was trying to establish the relationship. And then to make him fight against that aspect of it.
Yeah,
but definitely wish I would have went into the culture more so.
Yeah, if you go into the culture conversation, you see how he already licking his chops. Like, nigga, I would have took all of that. He would have ran his mouth, attempted to create a distinction, and I would have flipped all that shit. And this nigga anti-African in a motherfucker. Listen to.
Yeah, but I just said they got different cultures. Anti-African how?
Bro, I would have. That's what I would have used. I would have used your argumentation. I would have used the way that you framed it.
You would have fell short, nigga.
Shit, nigga. Hey, they call me MVP for a reason, nigga.
Right.
You talking to the wrong one.
Motherfucker.
You talking to the wrong one.
Here, motherfucker.
You talking.
That's
you
why
had
they
8
call your
debates,
weak
though,
ass
right?
MVP,
You had
nigga.
8 debates,
Get
though,
there,
right?
nigga.
Did you have 8 debates, nigga? Did you have 8 debates? It don't matter when you came.
Get there.
It don't matter when you came. Did you have 8 debates?
Shit, they
yes
niggas ran.
It don't matter when you came. Did you have 8 debates?
Ran.
Yes or no, nigga?
Niggas ran. They came
You
close.
had every opportunity. You had every opportunity that I had to get what I got, nigga.
Not really.
Because I wasn't here.
Not really. No.
You came back. Niggas handed you 129.
I didn't have an understanding of the rules, nigga.
What is you talking about? Niggas
I didn't have an understanding of the rules. I could have easily beat you in some of them motherfucking trophies, nigga. You better look at them sheets.
You wouldn't have beat me in shit, nigga. You wouldn't have beat me in the motherfucking rounds, nigga. You wouldn't have beat me. Bro, listen, I set the standard, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? I set the standard. Fuck you mean, nigga?
All right, nigga.
The reason why you talk the way you talk, because you watch, nigga. Fuck you mean, nigga? Niggas is talking what? Hey, stop playing.
Win, nigga.
I'll show you. That's all I do. I'm good.
Look at it.
I'm good. I'm good. Shit, that's all you need from me. Oh yeah, we straight. I ain't got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I ain't arguing with you niggas though. After this, that's it. That was it for me. The rest of you niggas got the fuck you niggas.
Play that rapid fire, man.
No, I ain't fucking with y'all, man.
Just go straight to the rapid fire. You ain't gotta play with you. Go straight
to
the
I didn't know what I'm talking
It's all good.
Just play the beginning.
I thought I had a strong rapid fire round, but to hear repeated people saying that I didn't means I didn't. I'm talking shit, but nigga, I hear y'all. So I mean, I need to know what it is. Cause I ain't seeing it. I felt like it was strong.
What's your mic?
Is it blue? Is it on me or is it on you? Who asking questions?
Mm-hmm. You're asking questions. I think you're first.
Oh, okay. Okay, perfect. Matter of fact.
Whoa, please. Right there. So this is what I'm saying. If we playing the game, I'm on bullshit right there. Like, bro, you don't even know what's going on. This is a playoff debate.
Facts.
What I'm saying is it's all good. Is what I'm saying. It's straight.
Facts. Facts.
Now, usually the person who goes last throughout the go first.
I'm telling you, I'm not on bullshit though, Blue.
No, that's not it.
Right there. I'm telling you, nigga, what the fuck are you? How the fuck did I beat your ass so bad? You gotta go first.
Hey, look.
Listen, doing none of that, and I stopped.
I'm so crucial. When he first gave it to Blue in the opening, Blue was there. Hold on, give me a second. I said, whoever need time. When you supposed to be there like this. Share my screen. Let's go. When you still pulling shit up, I said that person lose. But it's in the video. I said that, but that's just I'm saying that's just how much you be on bullshit. Like, oh yeah, you ain't ready, bro. This ain't playoff material, bro. You needed a second to get. Soon as they was like, Taz, it's on you. Oh man, I'm here already. Boom. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I thought. Yeah, I thought that's what he had said. I thought he was saying Taz is on, and I thought that's what he said. I thought he was like Taz is on you. So I said, I was like, okay.
But cool. Yeah, the premise round and the rebuttal round is sophisticated. The interrogation round, this is when you step outside with them. Say, come here, bro. Let me holler at you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not thinking you're talking again, I'm falling short trying to be professional. So
you getting the hang of this.
I was professional. You just gotta be smooth.
Yeah.
You getting the hang of this shit, bro. That's your first season, bro.
Play that shit, bro.
That's impossible.
I want to start off with one of the last things that you said. You said black people, you said we should focus on building a nation here.
Yes.
So you said building a nation within the nation?
No.
So where are we building? So hold on. Black people are building a nation here, but it's not building a nation within the nation.
Right.
Because a nation already exists here right now.
Right. Right.
Well, it does. So if you mention, you said yes, right? So if you're mentioning building a nation state for Black people in America, then you're talking about building a nation in a nation, correct?
No.
Right there, you're talking about building America, right?
Right. We already have a nation.
Yeah, that ain't the narrative he said. He said, you said we should build a nation. Like, yeah, you should have been like, not a nation, this nation, United States. You know what I'm saying? America. Because now he like, hold on, a nation for Black people.
See, that's the thing. No, see, that's the thing that Taz does. He wanted to keep them in ignorance because he didn't really want to say that either.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to say that he wanted to build America because Blue would have went a whole different way with that.
Right.
So he wanted to keep ignorance on that. So like you said, Swab, Blue was smart enough to set the narrative. Okay, this is what we're talking about. When I knew what Taz was doing, I knew what Taz was thinking. I don't think Blue totally knew what he meant, but he was like, okay, since he's keeping it aloof, I'm gonna push forward the envelope. I'm gonna cut it off and say this is what it is.
But he cut me off when I went to explain though.
And I just that's something you can do too, when you asking questions, if somebody taking too long, you can be like, all right, that's all I want to know. You know what I'm saying? You can keep it moving because it's your time.
That nigga Blue was focused.
Right. Right.
It does. So if you mention, you said yes, right? So if you're mentioning building a nation state for Black people in America, then you're.
Did you hear him say a nation state?
Right. Yeah. And he acquiesced to that.
Yeah.
Right, but no, I didn't. Let's hear it.
From the beginning. Play it from the beginning. He asked you specifically. You say yes.
No, he said a nation in the
wording.
That was his first time using nation state.
He's changing the wording, bro. That's why
that was his first time. That was his first time saying nation state. First, he said,
"No, it's not about nation state or building a nation. It's about building a nation and different things." No, bro. But America, you don't have to build America. It's already here, bro.
I know. That's
real. So if he's falling in line with building what? We already have a nation here. What are you building?
He didn't ask me that.
He asked you specifically, are we building a nation here?
No, he told
you. Right, but he didn't ask that. Otherwise, I would have took him back to my premise and showed him what building is. I defined in my premise what building is for me. My premise was about building, rebuilding, focusing on that.
Okay, bro. So yeah, that's shaky, bro.
Right, that's shaky. How? What are y'all judging?
Because okay, so this will lead to a whole nother thing. But
I was so fucking confusing. We're talking about Black people. He said, should Black people build a nation here? He said, yeah. He's taking that as saying a nation for Black people. That's the conversation you in. Whether you give a fuck or not, you're in the conversation right now of building a state for Black people in America. So when he said,
which is fine.
Okay, hold on. Don't deflect so fast. Let's get through this.
I'm not deflecting. Oh.
Okay, well, go ahead. Oh, God. Damn.
My greatest understanding of not building a nation within this nation is the Civil War. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I'm just telling you, I'm being cut off before I can explain my understanding of what a nation is within a nation. He's setting a premise, but again, I got it, dog. Turn up.
They literally went against the establishment in the Civil War. They separated, created their own Confederate states.
Say what?
They literally they separated from the Union, bro.
Right.
Okay, so is you talking about a form of that for Black people?
No, but that's what a nation within a nation is, and that's what happens to you when you try to form one.
Okay, so
for that.
So you're saying that you're not for that?
No, I'm not arguing for that. No.
Okay, so you're arguing more so being integrated in this nation, already established nation.
We're already integrated.
Okay, so the wording You're not building nothing here because it's already built.
Right, he's right, and that's again.
Okay, so you didn't say that. You said when he asked you specifically,
I showed you.
When he asked you specifically, are you rebuilding a nation?
What is your understanding of building? Because I put a definition of rebuilding.
You didn't say rebuilding. He didn't ask you rebuilding. He asked you
rebuilding is the topic.
Okay, so that's what he asked you. He said, "Are we building a nation here?" You said yes.
Right, but again, that doesn't mean with your own constitution, your own sovereign land, your own nation. That's not my understanding of it.
Well, you didn't say none of that, so everything else is less for you. Now you're hoping that we understand what you mean. That's what I'm saying. You leaving it open for us to now have to understand what you mean when he's being very specific on what he's saying.
I got you. It's no big deal to me, nigga.
Okay.
Turn up.
Y'all want to finish? No, they ain't got nothing to do with no turn up.
It absolutely does.
It does not. It does not.
If he's not going to let me explain what I just explained to you, then that's not even giving me ample time to answer the question or none of that. So I'm going to have to get loud and say, no, bro, you're going to let me answer. I'm going to have
I mean, there's other ways you could do it.
Like what?
Yeah, like saying when he says to you, right from the outset, why I would have said, I said, well, is a nation, I would have said exactly what I mean. No, he said, are you talking about building a nation? I was like, well, we don't have to build a nation. It's already here. I'm talking about integrating and further establishing this nation. That's what I would have said.
Right, I got you. I'm going to play the game now. I got you.
That's not yelling. That's not talking over the person. That's answering the question.
Hey, I got you, bro. Let's play the game. I got you.
Okay.
If you play it, you'll hear what I'm saying there, bro. You white men that, white men this, white men that. Yes. I think it's all true. That don't mean run. That don't mean focus nowhere else, nigga. I know what it means.
Now, y'all want to finish playing that?
I did. I don't. We can try again. Y'all want to try again? Are we gonna do every goddamn
at that point, he was already dead, but he answered the question wrong. That's what the whole thing was.
All right, answer the question wrong.
Yeah. I mean, you answered the question to kind of lean towards his argument.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why he jumped on it. Everybody's seen that.
We're talking about building a nation in a nation, correct?
No.
So you said building a nation within a nation?
Where's your mic?
Matter of fact, I want to start off with one of the last things that you said. You said black people, you said we should focus on building a nation here?
Yes.
So you said building a nation within the nation?
No.
So where are we building? So hold on. Black people are building a nation here, but it's not building a nation within the nation.
Right.
Because a nation already exists here right now.
Right. Well,
it does. So if you mention, you said yes, right?
You don't hear me?
If you're mentioning building a nation state for black.
Yeah, you see him stutter step. He said, yeah. That was
It ain't like you're forcing your way into the conversation, bro.
But I'm gonna have to is what I'm saying. Just let it be known. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah. You ain't gotta get crazy. He was if you would have kept talking, he'd have been like, okay, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? He did it over and over again. Why?
People in America, then you're talking about building a nation in a nation, correct?
He's not, don't get it twisted. He's on your answer's ass. Soon as you can make a definite statement, he's on that definite statement.
No. That may be how you interpret it, but that's not how I meant it.
Okay, cool.
Pause it right there. That was opportune time to tell him what you meant.
Yeah.
What I believe is that you didn't want to tell him what you meant. You wanted to keep him in ignorance, which is a strategy. Definitely is a strategy. But once he let his marbles out the bag, you got to make your stance at that point. You know what I'm saying? Once he try to get a conversation into this is what you mean type of thing, then you're eventually going to have to let out the marbles.
Right, but I still have no
your answer was, no, I don't mean, no, that's not what I mean. And you left it there. And then that's when he asked
he left it there. He left it there. I told him he interpreted wrong.
True.
Can I make this? I told him he interpreted wrong. He said, okay, that should have been his death. He interpreted me wrong.
Yes.
I chose to leave that up to the judges on how to interpret that one.
that is the reality. Right. He did. It seemed like he walked away. He didn't put a nail in. Like, okay.
Yeah, because I honestly think that he didn't know what you were talking about. That
I thought the nail was in it. I thought the only thing he did. I thought that was a clear.
That's you clear. That's only because you thought he was talking about starting a new nation.
Yeah, but that's what I thought he was going to answer me from the beginning, because that's what I kind of thought he meant from his last round. But when I said building a nation here, he just said, yeah. I was like,
and so you took that as starting a new nation, but he was talking about building a nation. It was like a long drawn out that would have worked if you hadn't already implanted in the conversation a nation state. Like, I mean, are you trying to build a nation within a nation? No, but you're trying to build a nation. Yeah. Here? Yeah. Well, that conflicts. You didn't iron that out and make him say, no, I'm talking about America, or find out that he was talking about
or just do a job at keeping him. Well, Blue, there's other ways that you can build a nation without doing those things. I mean, eventually he's going to keep on picking until you have to say something, but you can't just make a bland statement and just leave it up in the air.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's,
right. I just said you interpreted it wrong, which I thought, man, okay, either he's going to ask for what I mean, or he's wrong.
He should have.
I didn't want to. I was sufficient with it. I thought I felt like it made enough sense, especially for me to move on to my next part of the question. Right. So when I mentioned that Liberia was already a nation state, do you agree or you disagree with that?
On the African continent? Sure.
Yes.
There's no disagreement.
Oh, okay. And so where should a nation, if you're building a nation, where exactly should it be at? Now, this nation, hold on. Now, stop it. We just drew a comparison between the nation that was built in Liberia and the nation that I just asked him about just a second ago. Now, remember, he said, no, he wasn't talking about building a nation in the nation. But yet, when I asked him about Liberia and compared in comparison with the nation that we build in here, there was no pushback on that being synonymous.
But you're comparing Liberia to America, because he's talking about rebuilding America. That's the A state.
Yeah, but I'm not allowing that to be clear.
No,
I mean, I like the answer that he gave me more so than the answer I thought he was gonna get.
That's a double-edged sword. That works which you do a lot. That does work. The first part of the question seemed like a bite, and the fact that it dwindled away, a lot of people that don't pay attention to that will say he bit his ass, but you never actually bit down. It was a good ass setup, but he just played dumb and just flailed.
He's playing dumb. Yeah,
and I'm fine with that. Ask your next question. One of y'all shouldn't have been fine with that. Now, to me, it seems like you shouldn't have been fine with that. But to me, it also seems like your strategy is that he shouldn't have been fine with that. So,
and that's what I'm saying. To me, his question round, I shouldn't have to fight something he didn't say. Is his question round? What am I adding information for?
Yeah, I agree. I think.
I understand the argument, but it was too much already laid down.
Yeah, I like keeping it right where it was. If you're not going to explain what you mean, right now, all we can go off of is that you're talking about building a nation state, which Liberia is a nation state. But see, and this is the difference. America isn't a nation state.
Hold on, pause. If that interrogation round was just like this right here, it would have been definite. See, this, I promise, bro. You got Taz energy, and Taz is more laid back. Taz is more laid back than usually is. It was like both of y'all was kind of like new to get to the audience. You got to remember, we in euphoria. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, what's going on? But y'all see how y'all naturally took this. You got the subtle voice that's constant and getting, and he like, hold on, man. Don't switch up, bro. Fuck that shit, bro. Real talk. Because Taz would have been on that. Like, no, hold on, bro. I don't like this. You misrepresenting what I'm saying. Let me explain. But he was more blue. Go ahead. I'm cool. Go ahead. That's just difficult to catch on the fly, bro. A lot of people would say, damn, I think Taz just lost that little, because when Taz wins something, he kicks you with it. That's why you're dumb. He didn't even call you dumb. I don't know. Let me get some more.
It should be where you live at. And so black people, where do black people currently live?
All over the globe.
Okay, but we're talking about specifically, we're specifying black people in America, correct?
Right, so if we're talking about
black people in America.
Yeah, black people in America.
Where do they live?
In America.
Okay, and so like the place where you named like matter of fact, let's just start out with Chicago. How much of Chicago do black people own exactly in the communities that they live in?
I couldn't tell you right off, man.
Well, if we can look at the overall scheme of America, we see that we only own, 1% of the nation's land, correct?
The federal government owns most of the land.
The federal government owns most of the land?
And I want you
to pause it right there. You see, like the thing is, I think Taz's strategy is to say, well, I'm only going to give you a little bit of, I'm giving you whatever you ask for. I'm just giving you a simplistic answer. But see, what Blue does is he takes that and say, okay, well, I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you what it is. It's this. Now you got to stand on that.
And I do because I didn't say on the West Coast. That's where they own the most of the land. That is not all over America, but I blew it.
Yes. Hey, but you get away with that in the debate. If he don't know that, guess what? The federal government owns most of the land in America. That is the fact. Until he proves that not a fact, bro.
And so when we do go through the statistics of who owns most of the land, and it says white men own 96%, you're saying that those white men are the federal government?
Well, I would equate white men to the federal government.
Yes.
That's it right there, bro.
Yes. Rigor mortis. That's right there. He didn't even ask for that, bro. See, the thing is, and just out of the land that the federal government doesn't own, white people own that percentage. Him equating the land owned by federal government being owned by white people, and you saying,
no, why would I give him that, though? When you talk about federal government, you're talking about you could go anywhere. It's like you could go anywhere you want with that shit. Now that he said that, but see, I can do anything I want to this nigga right now.
I had to scramble too. This is the lane I want him to go down. I feel like he's draining his rapid fire round. In my mind, this is like where like that you feel something about something that has yet to be qualified. Let's play it. Now let's play it. Well, I would equate white men to the federal government. I definitely I would equate white men to the federal government. Yes, I would.
Thank you. I'm glad you said that. What has our relationship with white men been like in America, sir?
Now pause right there. Pause right there. Now this is what I'm trying to make. Like either way that I answer that question, if we come in here, this is where we coming to. So how is that a good question?
I don't think he was.
Because you literally just jump to what the understanding is, which is historically white man ran this shit and they run this shit now. So what did you do to get away from that? We were never going to get away from that understanding anyway.
Now, I didn't think though that you was going to bite on them being the federal government. That's
the part. Like, you're in that position because you said you equated white men with the federal government.
Yes, I would say no. It's black people in the federal government.
To make you die quicker there. What black people in the federal government matter?
I mean, it don't matter whether they matter or not. They're there.
No, okay, so you'd have been anti-American the whole fucking debate. And I'm supposed to sit up here and say, yeah, some black people are in the government. Mm-hmm. Nigga, that's the kill shot.
I mean, either way it goes, the kill shot. But yeah, we was walking there. That's why I was like, it was an either or. But I didn't think you.
Yeah, well, me personally, I definitely wasn't the answer. I wouldn't say yeah. I definitely want to say yeah.
Right? They
know you say black people in the government.
He needs you to put black people in the government. That's what he wants me to do.
We was gonna walk a totally different route, but then you didn't. I mean, really, it really ain't no good way to come out of this. Really.
Yes, you gotta. I came out of it a way that you didn't plan, nigga. I made you work to get that shit off.
Yeah, because I mean, ultimately, we know that Blue's a good interrogator, but I just think you, like, in terms of he beat you convincingly, but he didn't knock you out. If that was like a strategy, then you were successful at it. Like, okay, let me just.
But how? Where's the what's been convincing this far, or is the convincing coming?
Well, I think that he's painting a picture,
right?
And you're not really doing too much to fight it.
The thing, thing is,
so
what he's doing is taking your argument and because to me he's doing a horrible job. Because this ain't even about the debate to me. He's grabbed onto a line at the end of your rebuttal and completely lost about testing the relationship we rebuilding with Africa in this round. So what he's doing is taking your America and kicking it in the nuts. So he's wrapping it up in a little ball of white people, and the federal government is white people. And so the federal government and white people treat us like shit and never will treat us other than like shit. Then the federal government, which is America, treats us like shit.
Right.
So that he not even looking at Africa. He just kicking America in the nuts. Like, what the fuck is going on? Because you gave it to him so easy. You know what I'm saying? Which, to me, you played dead. Because he never said, he never had a real nail or a stake. It was a lot of, damn, that's some fucked up shit. Like, I wouldn't have said that, but it never ended up with a,
it wasn't a knockout. Definitely wasn't it wasn't a knockout. But I think if that was a strategy, then you were successful at the strategy. But I mean, it was almost like in a boxing match. He was jabbing you up.
To be honest, it's not y'all thought I was having a conversation.
Yeah, I didn't even use pretty much. Besides that one part at the end, I'm just going off of what he's saying, and then okay, we'll take this turn.
Fucked up. That's what I'm saying. You jumped on an extreme comment he made, and you even made it extremer and made him talk about an independent state. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, get back to
business. Now this draws too much, but this now draws it. Watch how it's going to draw into now a relationship with Africa. What's it? So it is. We have a toxic relationship.
Definitely.
Okay, and would you say, if let's just say, if black people were the wives of white men in America, would you say it's an abusive relationship?
Black men aren't the wives of white men.
So. No, not black men. Black people. If black people were the wives,
we're not operating in it, so I can't give you that analogy.
Well,
we're not wives.
We're not wise, but we seem to be battered and bruised by this nation, correct?
Yes, absolutely. In those terms of legality and whatnot, yeah, you can definitely make that argument.
Okay. Have black people been trying to build a relationship with white men in this country?
Yes, absolutely.
And what have we gotten in return?
Failure.
Failure. Why is that? Is it because, matter of fact, do white men see black people as Americans in this country?
You should have died right there to see black people as Americans in this country. Yes.
So to the white man, black people are Americans.
That just changed it. You said, do white people see black people as Americans? We saw last summer more white people in the streets marching.
Okay.
So what, bro?
I think that was a good job on the part of that.
He caught that.
I think that was a good job that you did to, get him out of that. Where you think he was going with it. See, you was able to catch that one. Yeah. So.
Yes. But where's the destruction at? Man, I thought you said I was destroyed.
We was high.
Out of all the points, this is like the first real point that you actually was able to.
Right, let's go. Finally.
But I specifically asked you about white men.
Right, and you switched it to white men.
Well, let me concede this point. I may have made a mistake, but I want to stay on the point of white men because you said white men, they are directly linked to the government. That's what you said. Right. Okay, cool. What role has white men played in systemic racism?
Say it one more time.
What role has white men played in systemic racism?
White men orchestrated and continue to keep systemic. Get to the point. I said I'm not trying to pussyfoot around. I'm trying to get to the point. That's what that's what I'm saying. Like I'm literally answering the question legitimately, and I get what you're saying about even playing the game. But you said a nigga said I got destroyed in the rapid fire round. I'm just trying to see where. Where is it? It's coming up.
It was a little euphoria. I'm telling you, bro. When you watching it, man, that shit be like, damn, he just killed that nigga. Because that's what we want to see, bro. You can't check it, bro. We want to see y'all cut each other. So guess what? If you try, we're gonna give you points. But let's see though.
Really, at the point. I mean, this is you're making. I mean, from what I'm seeing, is no different than what I was seeing in real time. In my head, at this point, I'm thinking in my head, like, okay, that's a good point. But like, from the outset, one trying to avoid really answering the question in the very beginning, you making a mistake of saying that you was trying to build a nation.
I ain't making a mistake.
Well, I believe that was a mistake because you meant to say what you when we took the layers off. You were saying that you was actually saying that we need to be integrated and continue to build within America. That's not really. It was unclear. I knew at the time that you was avoiding what your answer was, but I kind of sensed that.
I'm not.
He was obviously when he was asking you specifically, you knew that he didn't know what you were talking about, and you refused to clarify that.
No, saying I refused to clarify make it sound like he asked me to clarify. I told him he misunderstood, and he said, "Let's continue."
Yeah,
he didn't want no further clarification. He said,
right. So you left it up in the air. You left that up in the air.
No, bro, I didn't. I told him you don't get it. So either it's talk over him, stop him, whatever, or let it go with him saying, okay. I said, you got it wrong. He said, okay. I would think the judges heard him say, okay, he got it wrong. But evidently the judge is looking for me to turn up, so it's time to turn up. I got you.
Okay, well, turn up then. I mean, you want to be, but this is what I'm saying. He asked you specifically based off the last question that you made during the rebuttal round, and you saying, we're talking about building a nation, and he's talking about, well, in America?
I just got to remember I'm dealing with conscious community understanding, bro. That's it.
Okay, well, I guess you got to deal with that then.
Yeah, because it's like you know, from what I'm hearing is like what I'm hearing is like you know,
defining what I meant about rebuilding and what we need to focus on. That's what my premise was.
I mean, like if it's unclear, then it's unclear.
Yeah,
it's like you know, we played it like 3 times, and where it's like, yo, you're not getting into specifics.
Well, we didn't let the premise
and then even how you're wording it is up in the air. So that's why he's looking. That's why he kept on digging. Are you saying this? And you're like, no. So he's like, oh, okay. So he's saying that. Well, I'm kind of confused.
But it's his round.
Which one is? Yeah. I mean, you can make an effort into answering the question, bro.
How much more of an effort do I need to make? He's saying, let's move on.
Unless, and this is what I'm saying. Unless you don't,
let's move on. So
but this is what I'm saying. Unless you don't want to answer the question, which is cool. If you don't want to answer the question, you doing what you're doing is
he didn't want me to answer. He already said that.
Yeah.
After he dug, like he asked you about 4 or 5 times in 4 or 5 different ways.
Though, bro.
Your answer was like, no, that's not what I mean. No, that's not what I mean. You never told him what you meant, though.
Right, and as I tried to clarify, he cut
me off. You didn't make a real effort into clarifying, bro.
We just heard it.
No, the thing is, Taz, right. I gotta say that. It was because when Blue said create a nation state, we all said, especially when he went into, you mean here? Like, we picked it up, like Solar said, we picked it up. You was playing dead. Like, shit, if you want to say a state, okay, I'm talking about the United States. But real talk, he went straight to a separate state, bro. So if you describe that as conscious community mentality and stuff, I could get that. But what we saying is that at that point, it should have been some dust kicked up. No, bro. You're not finna walk away from it and tell people, I told you I want to build a state here. Because you know that's what he finna do. He wrote that down in his notepad, like, okay, he said he want to create a state inside of America, but not America, but he doesn't want to make a state inside of a state. That's impossible. Check. Next question. Don't let him write that down like that. No, bro. I'm saying we need to focus on America. Next. That's it.
So how is he right then? You agree with what I'm saying?
Because when he said a state, even I gave Blue the leniency of like, Taz better clarify he ain't talking about America because he said a state. He talking about a black nation state, this, that, and the other. Like, but Blue didn't make that nigga say that. That nigga never committed to that. But yet we was willing to walk off and say that's what that man said. And say, well, because he didn't clarify. No, the onus was on Blue. The onus is on Blue because
that's his friend.
He should have asked the right questions. Taz, you're gonna have to ask him a paragraph. Let me ask you this. Because he gonna, okay. And like I said, when Blue never got anything to turn in. When it was time to say, okay, what you get from interrogation? Really nothing. He said some wild shit. You know, the federal government.
No. He's somewhat right. He's somewhat right about what he. Suave is somewhat right about what he's saying. Yeah. It wasn't. You didn't get the knockout because you didn't further press the issue. But it was like, far as points, he got most of the points on that one because it was like, okay, what are you talking about? It was like because he poked at you. And it was like, no, that's not what I mean. Try again. Well, do you mean this?
I didn't say try again.
No. I'm not saying that's what you said. But right. That's what you were. That's how you were. Like that's the energy. That's the energy. I mean, we could play it back. We could play it back. Word for word.
You can move the conversation along, Ray. Didn't want me to answer. How do I get? This is all I want to know. How do I get Doc for him not wanting me to answer? He don't want me to answer. He already said after the debate he didn't want me to answer shit.
No,
he asked you though.
Yeah.
He asked you though. Of course he don't want you to answer. He wants to confine you. This is what he's trying to do. He was trying to confine you on on your position because he thought that you made a mistake when you said building a nation. He assumed that.
Right.
You made a mistake when you said that. So that's why he went for that attack. And then you was like, well, no, that's not what I'm actually saying. So then that turned into a series of other questions. And then he went for the phone.
That's what I'm saying. That was part of my premise. How do judges and shit get to add their own shit as if my premise wasn't already laid out? And my understanding of this nation we're rebuilding is the one we're in. I just laid out a whole premise of how we can do that and what it is we need to do that. So how does the context change for the next round? That's crazy.
Because we're on, listen, during the blue interrogation round, we're blue. We're trying to kill you. During your interrogation round, we trying to kill blue. We're giving blue the benefit of the doubt. During his interrogation, that was good enough. That nigga didn't deny the shit. He killed him. On your round, we giving you the same benefit of the doubt. Like, damn, that's crazy. That nigga let that nigga, you know what I'm saying? That's just how it is, bro. So if you try to take it and say, well, I'm just going to leave it open-ended, and that's a risk. It might work, but with a motherfucker like Blue,
what is so? It just seemed like there's no way to respond if you want to make sure every question gets answered. Because I thought that's what would win you the rebuttal round, was making sure you're able to answer all the questions.
Look, let me take it back because I'll show you.
Yeah, it wasn't like I'm just saying how you saying that when you didn't really put a solid effort into answering the question.
On the African continent, sure.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Matter of fact, I want to start off with one of the last things that you said. You said black people. You said we should focus on building a nation here.
Yes.
Pause it right there. Pause it right there.
Like, why? He said,
why? Why would you like? Should we focus on building a nation here?
Right. Okay. So here's the thing. Listen. Let me tell you what the first thing that came to my mind. I promise. I promise you, it's the first thing that came to my mind. And I know y'all gonna think this shit crazy, but it's true. This is how my mind works. The first thing that came to my mind was this nigga gonna do some bullshit. And I was there when Claim used that argument about what a nation is, according to the biblical definition, which isn't a land requirement. It don't have no requirement of land or none of that. It's just your people. And so, you know what I'm saying? In my mind, that's the argument we using, and I haven't established that though. So if I will say I made a mistake, it wasn't that. But that in my mind, that's the argument we using. That you don't necessarily, it don't have to be land, it don't have to be you taking over your people.
That's hard.
And once what I'm saying is I learned that argument from it, I accept it for what it is. That is another definition of a nation.
Go ahead.
That's legal. That's legal.
In a nation within the nation?
No.
So but hold on. Black people are building the nation here.
You said what?
I said I blew it because that's the moment to establish it. So I understand what Solar's saying. I got you. And if it's anything, I didn't establish my point, but that's going to require me to talk over him. That's going to require me to get a little louder. We're not necessarily going to do it.
But that's the thing with Blue. He's going to allow you if you kind of like force it, not to the point where I mean maybe you don't have to do that with maybe Suave and Anonymous or Domo. But with Blue, if you was to say like, look, let me, he's going to let you because his thing is listening to what you're saying. People don't know that. His thing is to listen to what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? So he's not going to really put that much force, fight back if you're trying to inject. That's how I know you wasn't really trying to answer the question. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so now he's looking for clarity because I at that point knew, oh, this nigga on some bullshit. He's going to make him dig for this one. And I really don't think Blue know what the fuck he's talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I definitely didn't think he was taking the Israelite route. I
didn't know that either. When I thought that he was taking, I thought that this is what I thought. I didn't think that he was taking the Israelite route. I thought that he had his answer, but he's just not going to tell you. Yeah. You're going to have to dig for that shit.
Because
this is what I'm thinking he's doing.
That's why, to be sure, I wanted to see. So I kind of drew a comparison to Liberia to see, are we talking about just built like on some like just us together, like on some, you know what I mean, we just build together nation type shit, and, you know what I mean, not like that, or, you know, that's why I was trying to get a comparison between a nation and then building a nation and then the nation that we built in Liberia.
Yeah. I mean, so in terms of the round, like if I was like judging it in the terms of a boxing match, it was like Blue won the round, but like it's almost like you're gonna lose if you don't knock him out. You know what I'm saying? Type of thing. You know what I mean? At this point in my head, like, yeah, Blue, you gotta knock this motherfucker out. You know? And it was like, yeah, jab. He stumbled a little bit, but he got his shit back together, and he was, you know, as well, we was already fast forward into the middle. He started defending himself, and he threw a couple of licks back. You know, but overall, you know, he beat you up on a.
That's what I mean.
I mean, because if you got the point, and once you saying that though, my thing is right when the person gets you to say something that I consider to be, you know, you fucked up with that. Yeah. Like when you say like the white man is the government, I'm like, oh, he got you to fuck up on that one. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? This is what I'm saying in my head.
Because the other is worse to me. It's like okay, I mean, I get
what would be the other?
I'm sorry.
What would be the other?
The other answer?
Yeah.
That the white man ain't the government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My answer would have been there's all different types of people in the government.
Yeah. He said that's a shorter gun.
And that's it. Because those to be, and how are those people? Do they run anything? Do those people have any power? Like, what the fuck do those people represent in the government?
That would have been. I'd have made that into a 5-minute argument.
No, but his thing.
Well, do the black mayor? Do the black mayor have power? Don't he got power to change legislation? Don't he have power to? I would have made that into a whole argument.
But his point is the reason why they not is because we haven't focused on that. So he's saying the government full of racist white people because we study fucking focusing on Africa. If we was focusing over here, we had a dozen black presidents by now. That's his constant point. Blue just setting a narrative, and he's not killing it. And the whole time, Taz's point is just sizzling there. Not really being excruciatingly, you know what I'm saying, pushed, but the fact is, we ain't focusing on America. That's why everything that you finna say. That's the answer. And until, you know, Blue did a couple of months.
Well, I guess what Taz is saying is that for him to kind of acquiesce, I wouldn't have said black. Because that is kind of like, okay, so that means that we are kind of focusing on America. Because I think that was part of Blue's argument. We could do both. So like, yeah, but that's the reality of it. It is black mayors and black, you know, but I probably would have said, what came into my head was like, they're all different types of people in the government. They ain't just white people.
But if you notice, I said it before the debate, they both got this style where Taz got a punch, but they don't rely on that. They rely on you throwing a punch, and then they throwing that shit in the arm bar, leg lock, head. You know what I'm saying? Using your memory. So Taz is like, I'm not swinging. I swung all during the premise, during the rebuttal. It's nigga, you finna make a move. But Blue is trying to get Taz the answer so he can take that answer and say, this is it don't matter what Taz say, he's gonna say, this is the reason why. And that's what Blues do. The same reason why you think you should do something, Blue adamantly feels that's the exact same reason why you shouldn't.
Right. And it had to be a part where Blue had to push the envelope a little harder on a point to get the knockout.
Had to swing.
But he moved on. I think he left it up to the judges. Like with the whole thing with the white government, I would have went. You know, that would have been the rest of the round. The white people in government.
The white people in government and shit takes the point he's trying to establish a way. He's trying to establish that this is a white country. I'll give you that it is. Why waste time getting to that point? I want to hear what you really got. And so, rapid fire round.
I would have made some simple statements to get you to, you know. So you're saying to me that you would rather establish or build with a racist white government or people, you know, that is of your...
That comes at towards the end.
Yeah. I mean, I would have made those comparisons and I would have made that stand on that. You're standing on the racist white government, but he did do that. That's proven to be against you, by the way. They like this government that's proven to be against you. You think that you're going to build with them as opposed to now trying to build in a nation that it was designed. This is what he's saying. It is designed for you to go over there and build.
To go build.
That's what pretty much what he was saying.
What I was saying. I said that in my premise. I said that in my opening. Nobody's stopping you as an individual from going build. The collective is an entity.
And I think that was a good response for far as with the mentality of black people. But I think that he still would have that point. Like you deal with the reality of the situation in terms of the debate is like, that's a good point. You didn't sound stupid with your response. I would give you that. But that's still a good point that he made.
Right. So how do you win?
That's probably the best response you could give in the light of that question.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So I'm winning. Let's keep going.
Nah. He still won that, but that was just the best response. It's almost like, you know what I mean, like with a Tyson Fury, the best thing to do is maybe try to catch as least punches as possible. But he's still hitting it.
Let's continue the round. I don't feel no punches.
First blood. First blood.
12 step off. Man, y'all make me. I'm about to go get something to eat real quick. I'll be back in like maybe 30 minutes.
Oh, good.
Oh, shit.
This nigga Swab would have to go get something to drink. God damn.
This nigga.
Right shit.
So right there where you trying to hear that. Man, but this is hell of a debate to start off the second round, I'm telling you.
Yeah. I gotta learn what I'm doing wrong in this rapid fire round though, because I'm telling you, bro, I felt like I was in it, but like I'm serious about that shit, dog. I don't get it.
Yeah, we can tell. That nigga, that's what we hear tonight, your past.
It was definitely tough. And I think some parts though, I think I should have went into some of the questions that I had written down. But I was kind of just, it was just stuff I was hearing. I liked what I was hearing. And so I wanted to just keep building off of what I was hearing. Like, okay, we'll go down that route. Because at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, I know where we ended up at. So I'm like, all right, we'll walk here slowly. We'll walk here slowly. As long as we get to where I know we're going, I'm all good. And so
And see, and that's like I watch it again. I just don't feel like nothing has been established up until this point. You know what I'm saying? Like
I think. Well, one of the things I'm establishing is because already my premise is that we've already focused on building America and got nothing in return for it. And then I showed that but at the same time, when we had people at the same time in another country focusing on building for us, they were successful at doing it. And so now we get into this rapid fire, and this is a white country. We're building a nation within a white nation's country when we already have a nation built. And the relationship is already rocky here when we actually had a better relationship with the natives back there.
And right, but that's what it's like. And that's where I thought I was at with all my answers was keeping it on focus. And like I said, I don't know, man. I just think I think they're looking for something in that rapid fire round that I'm not getting. I'm just not getting it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not getting it. I figure it out.
I almost want to go back towards the end where we start getting to the conclusion. Get to the conclusion. I want to try to find that damn story for it. I definitely try to like that. I really ain't get no sleep. Tooth, I gotta get it down. My tooth pulled, I broke that night. I need to get my food tomorrow. Then I almost lost my voice. Then I had lost my voice. That shit was crazy. I thought it was all that. I was like, man, no.
Yeah, I had been going hard on here, bro, like the whole weekend. So, like, I didn't even stream at all today because I know I've been talking too much. So, man, I didn't want to look either. I had definitely been all loud all fucking Friday and all Saturday. Like, my shit cracking now still. Like, take a day off.
Now, tell me this, though. Outside of the debate, do you think it would be more beneficial if we, with what we have already established in Liberia, if we was to force them to allocate our reparations to Liberia, or the fact, because one thing we see is that reparations is always never paid to the people, it's always paid to the government, and the government decides how to allocate it. But the fact that we don't own any of the things that they are rebuilding, they're just rebuilding shit. That, I mean, it really falls into the same thing. It's gonna fall into regentrification, where we back in at square one, where they done built up some nice shit that we can't even afford to live in. And so it's like, you don't think we got a better chance of, well, would you want to be more so if with Liberia, where we can control our reparations is allocated?
I mean, I'm ignorant to the Liberian situation because I've always looked at it as an extension of America. So some of the things you were saying today, like when you were saying the Chinese can't go in there and build and shit like that was interesting to me. And I would actually look into it more. But I don't think it's better because the collective ain't on board, and I don't think it's a way to get the collective on board because they've never been. Because the people don't even want to come together and build shit here. You know what I'm saying? In America, so it's like going across to the continent, I think is more of an uphill climb than to get them to work together to do something here.
Yeah, I don't think Black people even should leave here. I just think we need two things we would need to fight for dealing with Liberia. First thing on the table would be dual citizenship. So that, number one, we feel comfortable as far as getting adjusted where we feel like we can go back and forth easy, you know what I mean, with no issue. But two, I think just reattaching ourselves more so as to like, because the fact that even though Black people want a nation state, even like just to say it was Georgia, all Black people still ain't gonna want to move to Georgia. But the fact that you have an actual nation state in Georgia, that we actually are, you know what I'm saying, that we actually have people we elected, you know, it's just that the process is just different. Like, we not, you know what I'm saying, we got more of an established thing, or like the fact that we got a government and things established there. And that's what's crazy, because it's literally built just so all we have to do is come in and keep that money going. Like, everything is there. It's a full republic. Like, everything is there. We already had women's rights before, while niggas was fighting for women's rights here, they already have women's rights. Like, and so like, it just seemed like we could, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't all have to be there, but we do need like a central point that we kind of can control, whether we all on, you know what I'm saying, on point or not. I think especially like ADOS, I think if ADOS is bringing anything to the table, I think it should be, I think the best way to do it is Liberia, because the Constitution helps us distinguish who's who and who the reparations are going to. Because our community, we share our community with Asians and all kind of people. But
why,
you know what I'm saying?
More though. It's like if them nations reached out more and did more, I think there would be a better approach to it in America. I think the problem is people feel like those nations aren't as inviting as, you know what I'm saying, some may look at it. Like I say, even standing on paper, same, but going to live it is another.
Well, Liberia is a beautiful, like, a lot of us live there. I know, you know, John Amos was back and forth all of the time. Nina Simone is a Liberian. Like, the Thriller in Manila was funded by Thurman, by President Thurman. And so, you know what I mean? So it's always, it just hasn't been, they never allowed it to be publicized here. Like, they never wanted us to know that we was actually doing good in another place for our damn selves. That's what's fucked up about it. And so, like, now, and that's why kind of, even when we talk about like kind of like when I was referring to the Kwame Brown ordeal, the communication barrier that existed once before ain't really there like it used to be. And so, like, because every day it's like for like the last 2 weeks, I've been on panels with nothing but continental Africans and Africans from out the diaspora. And all the time, it's just like these different stigmas being brought up, and it's like, damn. Like,
so when they gonna the white man, bro?
You said where?
When they gonna take that white man name off the Capitol?
Monrovia? I don't think they will. I don't think they will. I mean, I think that's something that we could work on. I think the natives wouldn't mind that. Because I think, but the mindset was different from blacks then, though. Like, from how we are now. Like, today, if going back, we more so wanting to kind of blend in with the culture, kind of, you know what I'm saying? We got way more respect for the culture than what we did back then, and less respect for Christianity than what we did back then. And so, like, that dynamic in itself.
Dirty debate. That's a kill shot, bro. How the fuck you saying that's ours and that shit's still named after that fucking white man, bro?
Yeah, well, it's the capital city. Yeah, I mean, the capital city, Monrovia. But I mean, he shot us the money though to go buy the land. So it's like shit. I definitely would change that shit though.
We were debating Liberia, that shit would have came to mind. With the fact that I felt like you was digging a hole talking about Liberia, so that I didn't even think about that. Like, bro, you can't keep sitting up here claiming that this shit Howard, that shit still got a white man name on it. I at least made you work for that shit.
Yeah. See, I was hoping you was gonna go. I thought you was gonna go into like, cause I figured you had. I was throwing it out there because I figured you were looking at Liberia and slave trade. And because you know the story is that we went there acting like white people and enslaved the natives. So I was hoping you were gonna start out with, once I hit on Liberia, I was praying you would go there. I was like, ooh, I'm finna, because we actually in slavery, and that's what's even doper about it. The tribe that sold us in this, a couple of the tribes that sold us in slavery, we was actually able to bump heads with them and catch the fade. Like we literally caught the fade with them. And then, you know what I mean, was able to sit at the table at the end and, you know what I mean, and build a government together. Then that's even, we ain't even been able to catch the fade with them here, like a pharaoh. And it showed, like Liberia showed when shit was fair, we can win a war. You know what I'm saying? If you touch black people, you gotta pay for that shit. Like ain't no just touching it. And they executed our president and 13 black people live on the beach. The nigga came fresh from America, went straight out there and was like, if he don't resign, we killing him. And a week later, they was dragging his ass out, bro, on his hands and knees. And he built that army with the Midday tribe and the Crew tribe. So it's like,
bro, that great white shrine, bro, it's gonna be hard to sell Liberia. I mean, there's a huge white shrine sitting in the middle of Liberia, bro, and it's Monrovia, bro. You can't have it.
But it's not locked in. Yeah, that sucks. But it's not. That don't have to be locked in. The only things that got to be locked in is the Constitution and our Declaration of Independence. Outside of that, the name of the states, that's it. We could change. I mean, but we think differently than how black people then was thinking when they built it. You know what I mean? Like they basis was they had great intention, but it was some stuff. You know, they went over there with Christianity and converting the natives. I definitely don't agree with that shit. Like I think that was wrong. But it's like now we got a better. That's why rebuilding, reestablishing it, we come through it's a totally different ballgame because we got shit like the fact that that's our land and it's written like that. Like we gotta be getting it recontrol. We can make better deals. Like we in a better position to better our own country. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was mad when I found out all of this shit, bro. And I knew about that the Liberia war was going on, bro. I think I was like 14, 15. And I would have went, bro. I would have went and served, man. I would have went and served in that Civil War, bro. Like, ain't no way I was active at that time for some bullshit. If I had known the Liberian, and like they used to show that shit all the time on TV. I ain't even knowing these niggas the whole time. I'm like, bro, if I'd have known the war was about us, we trying to regain control over shit we didn't have this is the 200-year anniversary, but for shit we done had for almost 200 years, I'd have been out there.
White man, bro, that's white man name for that shit, bro. Like I just. We can't ignore that, bro.
Yeah, he definitely did. Because I do know, because Charles Taylor, even though, you know, I'll say that he did get revenge for us over the black people that was killed, he definitely was let out of a maximum security prison here. So I can't act like that didn't happen. And that ended up that Civil War, what we did, it did destabilize West Africa. And it kind of it set us back by a lot. But since that Civil War, since then, though, we actually got the highest GDP, one of the highest GDPs. We got one of the fastest growing economies. Our education has stepped all the way up. So
are you going over there?
Hell yeah. I'm planning on it soon. Hell yeah. That's my next move. I want my kids to be in government there. We gonna be fighting for, I want to fight for reparations from there. That way we can, if we get reparations allocated there, niggas is getting checks, and I'm not gonna play that. We're not playing to clean up the white man's park game and the goddamn projects and shit. We're not making them look nice. No, niggas is getting checks. Money, capital, ways to own shit. Like that way, at least if we don't be on the block, we can own the block. Yeah, or you know what I'm saying, have products and different shit that we are distributing to each other here that we can actually sell. Like we can create jobs with Liberia as a base. That's how Chinese people create jobs. They got China as a base. We gotta have something behind it as where we can think peacefully. I mean, without, you know what I'm saying, feel a little bit better. Even though we know their intelligence, they can hear and see everything. But at least, you know, we got a shot. We can put a satellite up. We got shit, bro. We got shit, man. We can be proud of, man. And be like, man, we did this on our own. The one time when we was left alone, this is what we did. This is evidence. You leave us alone by ourselves. We ended slavery. Started the damn Firestone deal. Like, nigga could be really making moves. Shit.
Yeah, that Firestone deal about to be up.
Yeah, I think we definitely need renegotiation on that anyway. On our record deal. I think we need to let it expire, to be honest with you. All of us need we gotta choke people off right now, because right now, I was hoping you went into financial aid. That was another thing I was hoping you was gonna do. Cause boy, that shit is the biggest scam I ever seen in my life. Them niggas, bro, they put $2 trillion. Yeah, oh, go ahead.
Tell you what you did. You dipped your hand the other day, bro. You dipped your hand the other day. You let me know that if I go into that, you're gonna have something for me. It was in there. And for some reason, your argument that day and the way you presented, like, nigga, I dare you to go into that, backed off of it, took it out. That's why I'm going through it. When we were talking about that the other day, but you dared me to go into it. So, you know, nah. You know what I'm saying? No, nigga.
I sure was hoping to. I said, ooh, boy, you finna see what they've been doing. Because they basically making a flip. They give $2 trillion and make $5 trillion back. I'm like, what the, bro? When I seen that, I said, oh, please, bro, this up, bro. I couldn't even hold it. I said, oh. That was too much to get away with. I was like, man. Which is, you know, that's what I've been trying to tell the Africans, because they like believe, like the folks I've been on the panel with, well, not all of them, but some of them, they like believe we just gonna be able to control our resources, like, because they really think that they're gonna be able to control the resources, manufacture, send shit to us here, send shit to niggas in the UK, and we all be, you know what I'm saying, gravy for them. I'm like, bro, the system is not happening like that, bro. It's just between every time you get financial aid, bro, they digging our hole deeper and deeper. And you don't even have a choice on whether you get financial aid. They'll just send that shit to you. They'll just drop off food. They'll just all of that shit, bro. Like after a war they created, they'll put you in, which puts you in debt. They're gonna put you in further debt by dropping off food and other shit, and then take that shit by just saying, well, since you can't pay us back right now, we'll just control your gold mine and your diamond mines until you're able to pay us back. In which Africa, we had the highest taxes of all people because of the tariffs and the damn financial aid and the fact that they control all of our resources in general. Because nobody has resources. That's what I was looking at. America don't produce shit. They have no resources. You have oil. Outside of that, they have all of everything that they have is based on something that they got from us in Africa after they created a war and made shit go crazy.
I wasn't gonna go into no shit with that. Nigga, somehow I want to see how he explain how we gonna get out of this. Yeah, I'd like you to see me explain it, nigga. We ain't debating how we gonna shit, nigga. I heard that shit, nigga. I ain't here to explain that, nigga. Man, you about sidestepping some shit. I'd have sidestepped that shit. Cause you said it, and I thought you was gonna bring it up in your rapid fire round. Cause you said that shit. The premise round, like, I want to see how he get around this shit. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna tell you, I ain't here to discuss nobody's plans and that nigga. The fuck, like,
man, real talk, man. I gotta give a fucking applaud to Blue, man, for a fantastic year, man, and being a fucking gentleman, coming to the Post Debate Show, being a good sportsman and shit. You know what I'm saying? I gotta ask you, is you coming back for season 4?
And of course.
I know. I just want to ask you, man. Yeah, dog.
My boy.
Yeah. Let me say this, man, because that just up the debate, and that was fire, bro. Like to win it feels like, you know what I'm saying, like it means something because I'm listening to what they're saying to you, and I agree, and so it's like that means it was good, bro. That means I can take the W, but I can look at my opponent and say, yeah, nigga, it was your classic. So, you know what I'm saying? It was definitely what it was supposed to be, bro. It was definitely what it's supposed to be. You'll never hear me say nothing different.
Yeah, I definitely loved it, bro. I thought, bro, it was fire on both sides. I thought we both, man, did what we were supposed to do. I think I'm expected to do what I do in a rapid fire. I think, you know, I did enough to stay up to the expectations of that. I think, you know, you as far as energy and everything, you definitely, and how you structure debates and your argumentation, you definitely was able to stay up the bar on that. And I don't think nobody slouched the slap. It was, I mean, that's what was we engaged. It wasn't like we was arguing the same thing and shit. It was like, you know what I'm saying? I like it, bro.
Y'all set the bar high as hell.
You did this to a whole nother judge and shit, to the commissioner, bro. So, yeah, that's definitely memorable right there in itself. Because when that nigga said a tie, I'm thinking like, oh shit, I'm behind. I'm behind like a motherfucker. Please. You know what I'm saying?
I knew he was finna say my name, bro. And when he said a tie, I was like, what the fuck, bro? I was like, how did you just say all of that? Like, and shout out to DJ, but I swear to God, I felt like he DJ'd me, bro. Like, it's the only difference. He didn't just tell me I'm not but it was like, wait, hold on. Did you just,
man, I think it's good, but you know what?
Yeah, I thought it was over at that point, bro. I was like, damn. I thought it was over, bro.
You saw me erase congratulations, Blue. I was finna type it in. I said a draw. I said, oh, backspace. Shit.
Wait, I missed something.
Yeah, I really think he just was like, you know what? I'm not finna do this. I didn't know that this was this delicate of a baby.
He bitched up.
I'm just finna bag out and let y'all handle this. He bitched up all the way. I have to watch a couple of these debates first because this was serious, and I don't even want. I don't even want to.
The air was so thick. I don't think he realized that. Like I think it was so the mindset. I don't think he realized, bro, what the fuck he was into until he was into it. Like nigga. He's like, oh, whoa, this shit.
Yeah, this shit is serious over here. That's what like, damn, I ain't know they were doing it like this over here.
Nigga, so what? I'm waiting on you to tell me if I'm going home or not. Nigga, what the fuck is you doing right now?
Oh, my life. I be talking that shit. I typed in the chat like that nigga started off bad. I want to give a shout out to my book. The judge.
Lose the nigga, so your answer, man,
you gotta get on
me out. That's why I said, like, nah.
You're not close enough. It's not boarding. It's just like not all the way picking up.
It's like low.
You sound like your phone up under your car seat and you drive. Can't pick it up yet.
Yeah, that's the Bluetooth.
Damn, that's how I be sounding.
No, you be saying, no, hell no. Your shit be pissing me off. I'm like, that nigga ain't even in the car.
But no, I was saying that he had the opportunity to close me out as a judge. Blue was up right there. So you know what I'm saying? Like that fucked with me, I'm sure, more than Blue. I'm sure it fucked with him too. But I'm looking at this shit like a tie. Like, bro, I need a W, bro. What the fuck are you doing?
A hell of a W.
Ooh.
Okay. They kept you alive, but how you worded it though, because it seemed like he was going to vote for Blue.
Yeah, I thought he was too.
I
thought he was too.
Nah, he wanted to tell both of y'all suck.
Like, he did. That's what he did.
Hey, so hit him up too and see what he wanted to debate on that Liberia because he said some stuff too, bro.
Right.
Yeah. He can get
he was talking shit about your argument, yeah.
Yeah, he definitely did that. He can get that Liberia to work anytime.
He don't fuck with you.
Anytime. He's seen the format, so he know what the format is. He can get that work anytime.
Facts.
Cause I know the trial that was selling slaves, brother. So you're not gonna tell me that niggas went over there selling slaves, selling
the nigga he was scared to judge against.
I'm trying to tell you, bro.
You're supposed to be debating y'all right tomorrow.
Turn up on his ass.
I already got that debate fully set.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, I'm fully ready for that.
Y'all hear me now? You hear me? I'm better?
Yep. Oh, yeah. You way better.
All right.
Yeah. I'm ready for that, too. Y'all,
I forgot you try your other shit the other night, man. You run around challenging niggas and shit. That's what I was saying, man. Like, I didn't know what to expect. And so
this nigga challenged the person that was judging his debate and shit. And then the nigga judged for him and shit.
Yeah. But see, that's what I'm saying, man. I don't do that shit like that. But I think niggas got, like, when you know who the judges is and they allow the argument, that's that. But like I never tell y'all, Rod, I know you voted against me, nigga, because I beat you, nigga. Now's your chance to get me back. I never tell him that.
I'm trying to hard to believe.
I never tell him that. I'll never say that.
I never tell him that bullshit. I mean,
I'm finding it hard to believe.
Nah. Well, I guess I'm making a joke of it because to get it, the niggas do. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even never do that. It's me, it really is. Like that. Say like that. And you know, joke. It's serious. Like, not voted that way. That's why you voted. I don't like the tie shit. Nigga, it's the playoffs, nigga. Don't do that.
You understand, man?
That kind of fell on me.
You're right, though, bro. Because to be honest, like I said, when you picked it up, it's still, the jury's still out. But the way the league is structured and shit, bro. Kudos and what your ability to step in right then shows. You know what I'm saying? At this league, you get something, bro. Step right in at the moment you're supposed to. That was bullshit. That was bullshit, bro. I'm glad you stepped in the way you did. And so it's not a knock on you at all.
That nigga Solo Man would come on like, what? I was watching the fight. Who y'all vote for? Who y'all vote for again?
That's why you have meetings though, because it was somebody that everybody thought that was a stupid question. But Melvin came and was like, well, what if it's a tie? He brought that up. So he was like, well, if it's a tie, then, I'll make the decision. We actually brought that up in the meeting that we had. So when there wasn't no thought behind it, it was just like, okay, we already know that in this situation, I'll do this. So.
See, that's crazy though, because like John Sue and
people were laughing at that because they thought it was a stupid question.
But they said that Floyd broke the internet. Damn.
They were both on the cusp of saying it's a tie. They both said that. So I guess my point is that they went ahead and made a decision though, because that's what it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? But they both said it was a tie to them, and so. What if everybody says it's a tie? Like, come on, man, we gotta get that tie shit out there.
Yeah, he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. He used to the debate, nobody wins, nobody loses.
Yeah, no
he thought he just gonna be able to just be like, yeah, it was a lot more pressure on who win or lose tonight than what he thought it was gonna be. He felt that shit in the air, like that shit wasn't no. That shit was tense. But he got to him, he's like, shit, it's on me.
Yeah, you're like Max Kellerman be saying, like, if the fate of the universe is on the line.
He was like, that nigga tried to hand that shit off to anybody else. Please, like,
I can't do it.
That nigga gave Jesus the wheel, bro. Jesus. That nigga said,
yeah, but what's this? Like they're the league and shit, but that shit happened.
Yeah.
Because he picked it up right where he was supposed to. You know what I'm saying? That, it could have turned into something ugly for real. Like, bro, what you mean, Todd? Don't you know that's the playoffs, nigga? He could have got it. He could have went there. So yeah, he stepped in like he was supposed to at the right time.
Everybody said the same thing before they began. Like they agree with the person, but they give a different outcome though. It was like nigga said he voted for blue, and then Garfield said I agree with him, and he gave it a tie. And then Constance said he agreed with both of them, and then voted for Taz.
That nigga Yara went through my whole debate, nigga, agreeing with shit. Nigga, like, what the fuck? Man, nigga, all his notes, nigga, he read everything I said, nigga, and agreed with most of that shit. That's why I say it's gotta be a strong debate, you know what I'm saying? If the judges agree with both of us, you know what I'm saying? If, you got a divided chat room, if you got, you know what I'm saying, people thinking the winner lost or the loser won, like, that's a strong debate. So I'd rather be a part of that than 30, you know what I'm saying, straight up.
Man, we had a half a G in the
because this is the moment of truth right here. Like, you got to walk through, after you make the decision, you got to walk through the valley of the shadow of the argument league and explain that shit. That shit got to make sense, bro.
Oh, bro.
Looking shaky out of here. Your integrity is in question now, bro.
Right.
Yeah, I'm always in argument league mode, though, so, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucker won't better tell whether I win or lose, nigga. I'm always argument mode.
That's how that nigga say, what's up?
Thinking though, Tan, I gotta have an interview with you, bro. I gotta set up an interview with
I gotta get an interview with you, bro.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I
gotta interview Solo. Yeah, fuck the bullshit.
Yeah, because like, what were you thinking at that point though? Like, it was like, boom. I was surprised that Yara voted for blue. I gotta keep it real. I was surprised. I was like, wow, that's interesting. You know what I mean? Because I have it in my head, you know what I'm saying, how the debate went. and I try to add the person's perspectives in it, but you never know, bro. And so you never know who the motherfucker is going to vote for us, you know. So it's like, I think that the way the debate went, Yara's going to vote for Taz, and he was like, I'm gonna give it to Blue. And at that point, I said, you know, me thinking how Kasu was going to vote and how, because I thought Kasu was going to vote for Blue. So,
Yara ain't said no shit.
I thought it was over at that point. And really, Garfield was my wild card. I didn't really know which way he was going to go, you know, because I don't really judge over here.
I debated that shit like Melvin was still the judge, bro. That's Yara debate style, nigga. Whoever the loudest in the rapid fire win, nigga. So, nigga, I already know, nigga. I mean, and keep in mind, he just said tonight when he was on here, I don't give a fuck about that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm playing it a little too, and even Solar said you was playing it a little too careful. I take that shit. You know what I mean? And like I said, I know y'all were arguing that the prior round, so I know he was probably looking at that shit like, nah, dog, get it in or get up out of here. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't, you know, you got to know who's judging. And I didn't take that into consideration at all.
You definitely got to do that.
Like with anything, you ever have a job, you ever have a job and they tell you what to do, but that ain't all what the job is about. It's really about you making decisions. So it's like, okay, yeah, well, this is the job, but it's always something that happens. You know what I'm saying? So like I worked at a bakery. Like the job is to, you know, make sure that this machine is running right so this shit can be packaged right. You know what I'm saying? But it always is something that happens. You know what I mean? There's always an element. And it's never a day where it's just like nothing happens at all. There's always something that happens. So they don't never tell you that that's part of your job. You know? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like, you're supposed to know. You know what I mean? It's almost like that. Like, you know, yeah, well, technically, you're supposed to answer the questions, but at the same time, you don't want to just lay out the red carpet for the motherfucker. You know, but I think even in terms of that, though, because even when I thought in my head, I said, long as he can get out the rapid fire round without checkmating himself, which you did do that. So in terms of me looking at the debate, because remember, I was looking at the debate as a viewer. I didn't even know I was going to be a judge. But what I was saying in my head was, if he can get out this rapid fire round without getting checkmate, then I think that he won the debate. And so in terms of that, you won the rapid fire round, like, because you didn't allow him to checkmate you. But from the standpoint of who had the most punches, he punched you a way lot more than you punched him. So that's why I said you got beat up.
Did you honestly believe that you was finna win when the judges was being read? Because to me, it seemed like
halfway through Garfield, I thought who was gonna win. Halfway through him,
because I saw you still type like, I'll be at the argument league.
I seen that. Yeah. Because I knew what he was thinking, because I was thinking the same thing. I said, it's going to be a lot of people that got to walk through this valley of the shadow of the argument league.
Yeah.
Because still at that point, I did not know that I was going to be judging this motherfucker. I was like, I see what and I'm already thinking that this is going to be ugly. This is going to be ugly. So, you know.
Well, I didn't feel robbed. I just felt like I said, like, damn, dog, like where's my arguments coming into play? Because again, Garfield was just all over the place with his judgment, and then when he said a tie, it was like, okay, now what? Because, like I said, I didn't know what was going to happen. So yeah, I looked at it as I was down.
And on the other side, Blue was 100% what was finna happen. He knew he was finna win.
Oh yeah, I know that. That sucked, bro.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
But after Garfield made his decision, I was like, all right, it's on Kansu. Because I already know in my mind who I thought won the debate. Yeah. So it was like, I thought he was going to vote for Blue. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was like, when he voted for Taz, I was like, damn, this is going to be crazy.
That's how you know motherfuckers don't be on bullshit, man. For real.
And it's like, I'm like, this is going to be crazy because the way that shit was voted was crazy. That shit was like, everybody at that point, when Garfield is talking, okay, the debate is going to be over. We don't even need the third vote type shit.
That was fire. Everybody was mad that Garfield just dropped it. To me, that was fire, bro.
And then he fizzled out, But it was like, okay,
and that's why it's an asterisk by my shit, bro. And that's what I'm saying. That's what making bullshit. So, but like I say, I respect Kansu and y'all Rob both for being judges, but I just like I said, man, whatever it was is what it was. You know what I mean? I don't look at it like, you know what I'm saying, blaming niggas and this and that.
I don't totally blame Garfield. I just think that he figured out, he realized he was in over his head.
I don't blame Garfield at all.
Yeah, because it was like
you could have asked shit, bro.
Yeah, because it was almost like it would have been unfair for him to judge the debate in a sense. You know what I mean? That's why I'm saying it really was my mistake. Because it was like he didn't even know the format. Like in a sense, like he didn't even know like the person had to stick to the points of the round and all the things that we discussed. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really know.
He was never a judge. He ain't a regular judge.
You have to be a regular judge. We had, and that's another thing. We had meetings talking about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, as though like they're prepared to judge the debate. We're all on the same accord as to how we're judging the debate. You know what I'm saying? So that really was my mistake. So I'm glad that it went that way, where he just said neutral. And I think he realized that, like, damn, they got something going on over here that's a little, beyond my. I'm a little ignorant of the whole format, really. So I'm just going to say, and that's really respect to him. You know what I'm saying? For him to have integrity to do that. To say, well, no, I ain't going to do that. Because that would have been it right there if he would have voted for Blue. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, and he was like, So yeah. So either way it went. I think
I accept that solar, but I also need to be understood that to me, bro, I take the L like that, bro. I would never question his tenure as a judge, bro. If he felt like the nigga took it, he took it, bro. I would rather you say that than you ain't never seen this style of debate before, any of that. Like I said, win or lose, I just want a decision, bro. You know what I mean? So like I say, that's got to be a rule, bro, in these playoffs. Like
I would definitely no, I mean the rules, like I said, this was actually brought up. I said this on the live stream, like just in case it's a tie, ultimately I would have a decision.
We probably laughed at your ass, like how do you have a tie with 3 judges? And they didn't hear that shit. I remember that.
I remember draws. That sounded wow. I remember when judges ruled a draw. I remember draws.
Which is crazy than the motherfucker. And you know what's even more crazy? And this is what I thought about when Garfield said draw. Like I said, I didn't even send them the motherfucking sheets. The round for round sheets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that would have all been brought to the table. Like, you know what I mean? Like that'd have been an issue. You know what I'm saying? In terms of if somebody wanted to like, okay, let's bring out the whole thing, because my whole thing was like, okay, I was telling them, just in case we're gonna do it now, if something is to happen, then we'll do the sheets, which I don't think is a good idea. I just think that they should just go through the round for round like they did last time, the other debates. Go for round, and then, you know, if everything runs smooth, then okay. You know what I mean? They were filling out the sheets for nothing, pretty much, for all the other debates. You know, but now when the sheets ain't filled out, something happens. You know, so it's like, you know, yeah. So, you know, that was a crazy thing that debate would have been like, yo, what? They didn't fill out the sheets. They didn't fill out the sheets now. Oh, they're gonna fill it out now? Like, nah, this is motherfucking decision's already made. They gotta look at the debate over again and shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is wild shit. But
yeah, that was worth every dollar. Yeah. That was cool, man. I definitely enjoyed that, man. That shit. And that nigga you're hooking, I was like, man, I wish I was in here.
that was a tough round. That was almost like that damn Game 7 with fucking Dallas and motherfucking the Clippers, bro. That shit. I mean, they pulled it out in the end. The Clippers, they kind of won convincingly, but that was a good ass series right there, bro. That debate was, you know, Blue King with the fire.
Oh my life.
A lot of unexpected shit that happened in this debate, bro.
That nigga looked like Jafar from Aladdin. That nigga looked so.
He was very confident that he had this nigga too. Yeah.
Me, the federal government is equate to white men.
No. The eyes. That's how big his eyes was. Just like how the eye was. That's how big his eyes was.
Yeah. See,
he really was confident that he had this nigga.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I'm saying?
He was.
You know, he had conviction in his presentation. And I'm like, why is this nigga all fucking topic, bro? That irked the fuck out of me, bro.
And I was just gonna say, I feel like I think if anything, that's probably where he went wrong. And I just think he stayed on the Liberia shit too long. And it was some of them points I couldn't chase down. And I would have gotten into. The economics thing, like I say, Blue is so good with the investing in the crypto shit. I thought he was gonna touch on that type shit. And as far as building a relationship with, you know what I'm saying? None of that shit came up. And that's the shit I was worried about. You know what I mean? I was worried about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, that's kind of his lane, is the investing shit and the crypto shit. And so I was sure that was going to be what I couldn't get around. You know what I'm saying? It's building a relationship through that type of shit. And he never went there.
Yeah, bro. That nigga was completely high off his own.
His presentation, I mean, that's the thing about Taz, right? Like, part of his defense is how he communicates. And it's like, you know, he avoid a lot of the shit. You know what I mean? And that's why, like, when and you can miss, I think he seeks to do that, you know what I'm saying? Whether he wants to admit it or not. He seeks to keep you aloof, you know, in terms of, like, you know, how he answered it. He knows what he's saying. The same thing happened when he was having a discussion with Lex. It's kind of the same dynamic. Lex thought he was saying this, you know, he thought that. And he's like, you know, no, this is not what I'm saying. I'm actually saying this, you know. So it's like,
how many times can you say what you're saying?
I think it's the way you word it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because like that's why when he said nation building, that's when it kind of registered. Like, wait, that's the misunderstanding. Okay, I got you. Because I never meant it like that, dog. And I know nation building has its own context. And to me, when you say nation building, it really ain't the same as build a nation. But I can see why somebody would say that. And so I take the L for that. That's my fault for not clarifying. But
the thing would be like, I literally thought that was a strategy that you were doing. Okay, let me just, I'm just going, whatever I'm just gonna give him enough. I'm gonna give him enough. I'm not gonna really try to get into it with you.
I'm not gonna help you. I ain't trying to take you, but I'm not gonna help you either. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know what I mean? To me, again, if you're claiming that you know something and you want me to tell you my answer on it, that's all I'm gonna give you. You want to know more, you ask more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not.
It was like he wanted to ask more, but then it was like he thought that was enough for the judges.
Yeah,
so he was like, all right, I'm gonna leave that alone. I got him on that. Let me move to the next thing.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. That's where
that hurt him. That definitely hurt him. But
no, I disagree. Because there's a consensus belief that he won the rapid fire round, which means
he was gonna. I mean, he like he's more talented than you in the rapid fire round, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, he's supposed to knock you out. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was really. So that's what I was saying in terms of you surviving the rapid fire round without him making a statement that really would have decided. Because it's Yara judging it. And Yara literally said that, well, you could get knocked out, like if you concede to the argument. This is one Yara. So, and that's the person that actually, he voted for blue. But like, so you have a judge on the panel. You have a judge on the panel that, his mind state like, okay, if this is and I agree with that. Like if you conceding to the argument, like you literally concede to the argument, then that's really like a knockout,
I think I didn't drive home that fact too, that he conceded to my argument was opening. And
you never really conceded to anything, but he was like he was framing, he was trying to make you look a certain type of way with the way he was trying to frame, how you was answering the questions. He was trying to say, well, okay, well, what are you saying? And he's like, you just gave him enough. Okay, yeah, well, and he thought that was good enough.
I was supposed to see what Blue did with his rapid fire round probably hurt him, but I should have did what he did. I should have came right back. I had it wrote down. It's right here. We definitely need to focus on home. Blue said that. Okay, that's it. You know what I'm saying? And again, I should have left it there. Okay, we need to definitely focus on. You said that in your opening, which means goddamn well that we should be having this fucking debate. You know what I'm saying? That should have been more of the focus of my argument was that he already conceded this debate by saying we need to focus on home. I didn't make that point.
Yeah, so I really thought you was like, okay, you already beat him. And because this is in my head, like, you won those, you swept them. Opening, premise, rebuttal. I think rebuttal was probably your best round, actually. The point that you made about, Africa's like not united. That I really think that was the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, that was going point for point.
And that kind of eradicated this idea, and then it exposed the Liberia thing that he was talking about. You know what I mean? Because okay, you're not reestablishing yourself with Africa. You're reestablishing with Liberia, which is different. Like, and you made the point of like, what about the other 51 states? Because I think you named Ghana and another country. It's like, what about the other 51
states? Leone and Liberia.
Yeah. So it was like, okay, that was it for the rebuttal round. It was like, okay, and that probably was the strongest round overall. So in my mind, it's like, okay, all he got to do is survive this rapid fire round. So I'm thinking like, damn, yeah, oh shit, it's almost like the motherfucker swinging into round 12, and he just swinging, and he caught you in a punch, and you kind of stumbled. You know what I'm saying? But you got up and you threw a jab, and so everybody's like, oh, but then it's like the round's over. This nigga ain't fall. He didn't fall and shit. In fact, he got a couple licks in, but that nigga was fucking your ass up on that rapid fire round. But it was like, that's what I was saying. Like, it's like, so you got. I'm like, damn. So now, like, closing and the debate's over, you know, because the closing is only 5 minutes. So it's like, okay, yeah, he just got to do the victory lap at this point. You know, don't fuck up. You know, it's really like, don't fuck up.
And that nigga almost fucked up in that closing, bringing out other information and shit. Like, once again, it just happened to be in my closing. It's not a rebuttal. But Marcus Warren, I said, oh shit.
But it was though. You know what I'm saying? It was. I was leading off my closing, talking about how it's about business for most. It's not about love and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was sitting here looking like maybe I should move this slide down to the bottom and not use it first. But that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was not to, because I didn't go and whip that up that fast. It was ready already. I just go whip that up for the debate, like in the middle of.
That was good. That was a crazy one right there, though. That shit was.
All right, now y'all got me up past my bedtime. Let me get my little 30 seconds of fame real quick.
Who's that?
Hey, go! Congratulations.
Who that?
I'm gonna be seeing you in the quarterfinals.
Who's that?
To you, Brody. Commish, Tad, yeah. So I definitely was inspired. I'm definitely gonna take notes and I'm gonna steal some of your shit. I'm just keeping it real.
That nigga sound different when he off that coat.
Who's that, T-Dub? Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, like, Taz is very, like, you know, I mean, because, like he said, maybe he has something with the statement, like, okay, well, it's certain things that we do, like, you say the conscious community. I mean, but he brings another element that we have to get used to. And maybe if it's not the conscious community, we got to make it up another name for it, because, you know, the way he processes the information is a little different, you know, and his tactics is a little different, you know, the way he communicates his points and the little slick shit that he do. He's a slick motherfucker as far as how he answers questions, you know, and you know, how he disseminates his information. So, you know, that's something that, you know, I'm saying, especially you-Suave, you know, and, you know, potentially debating him. I would look over a couple of his debates, you know, especially when I beat him up, you know what I mean? Because I got the blueprint.
Fact. I ain't mad at it.
That nigga said facts. Hey, bro, listen. If I'd have knew I was debating you on Marcus Garvey too, I would have had them FBI motherfucking papers on deck. Nigga. I didn't know I was debating. I didn't know I was. That's what I'm saying. That was early on, nigga. I didn't know no better. I didn't know where niggas would go, bro. Like nigga, I had all type of shit lined up to Blue, depending on where he would go, and he warned me not to go certain places, so I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that pre-debate shit might not mean nothing to niggas. Bro, that nigga told me, what, 3-4 days ago, don't go into that shit about the economy and the foreign aid and shit. No problem. I won't. Nigga. Take that shit right on out and put something else in, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And what he said tonight was, I was waiting for you to go into it. Well, no, nigga, you told me, you dared me to go into it. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't. I didn't want no smoke on that. I don't want to challenge you on something that you ready for, you know what I'm saying, and can predict. You know what I mean? So I'm just glad I got out of that one. That was a dog fight.
Yeah, because I think it was like a matchup thing too, because Blue is a slick motherfucker. Like, you know, he'll walk you into that shit, you know what I mean? And
Blue a lawyer.
I think that you know, you was able to, you know,
hey, that shit was
show up on my intellectual superiority over the I mean, it said in the rebuttal round, that fight was the best round. Period.
Taz getting that nigga Blue the fuck out of here. And then as soon as he lost, he was like, man, that's crazy, bro. I want to get that nigga a hug. I said, man, y'all niggas is sick, bro.
That shit do be like a roller coaster though with that shit, the way they're going. It was like, damn, because everybody was surprised when Blue was, I mean, you seen one put up the eyes when Blue came in with the opening, because he was just at it. The energy was different. So everybody looking like, oh shit, this is gonna be crazy right here. Somebody put that in there, like, yeah, this is gonna be good right here. Like, you know what I mean?
Again, I think, but see, to me, what bothered me about that was it was like, damn, bro, he came in on the attack of my premise. I thought that shit was pretty butter round. Because you know what I'm saying? I thought that shit.
I know, as he began to talk about, because I got caught up in the energy too. I'm like, damn, Blues. And then I'm like, damn, but he
ain't doing shit.
He rebutting the motherfucker. What the fuck is he doing? Then it turned to like, yo, what the fuck is he doing? It irked the fuck out of me because I'm like, yo, all that good energy is like to waste because you're off fucking topic, bro. Like you're like, I mean, not off topic, but you're rebutting them.
I was gonna say he ain't off topic, bro. He's setting the crowd. So you know what I'm saying? Now it's my turn, and then you're probably gonna tell me I rebutted him in my opening. Mother, did you just hear what he did to me in his opening? And I'm just supposed to come on and act like he ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like bro, you ready to me in this opening, bro. It's like, damn, so they're supposed to come on like, all right, guys, nothing just happened.
Nah, you gotta start your rebuttal off that way. In your opening, you did this. Your rebuttal, you rebutting every move he fucking made. I don't give a fuck if he do something backstage.
Yeah, I definitely did. But I'm saying what you said, the premise for the next 2 rounds by coming on, saying he finna do this, he finna do that. This was in his premise. I'm saying like it's setting the stage for the next 2 rounds, and so I'm second. I really can't come on and do that to you because you know what I'm saying. I haven't established an opening. You know what I mean? I actually want to give an opening, nigga. You done said what I'm gonna do, and so now I gotta say what I'm gonna do, which ain't what you said. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That shit kind of was like, damn, like I'm jammed up already with the damn opening because I don't want to sound like I'm in a rebuttal, but he was.
I can't. That was the thing because by the time you started going, I said, man, he bit. That's all rapping do. I mean, that's all rap. That's all Blue do. Blue unmute his mic and start throwing rabbits out his head. And if you chase one, it's 3 minutes before you recognize that. Why am I over here?
That's why when y'all said it was like, that's bullshit because he did it first and he set me up, but I can't say I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? I definitely bit. I bit like a motherfucker. Because I guess I wasn't supposed to mention it at all until the rebuttal round, and then I could have probably went in about it for 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't resist right there in that moment saying something because it was like I felt like he had already set the stage with he coming with fraudulent information, he coming with bullshit, don't trust him, he lying. This is you know what I'm saying? Like damn.
Like A9 probably usually start his round off. He says some what's the name, but I'm not even finna let that distract me. I'll take care of that in the rebuttal, and then he go. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta remember that the rebuttal, because he finna get another round and say some other shit. You know what I'm saying? And you can't get caught up and lose on none of that shit. You really gotta be a zombie, and that's what Blue good at. Is I don't give a fuck what you're saying. You're talking about a nation state, building a nation in America. Like that's not what he's talking about, bro. That's what I heard. What are you doing? Whoa.
Yeah, it's one motherfucker said it was though, because he definitely took me there. I'm looking like yeah. All right, bro.
Yeah, that was awesome, bro. I appreciate y'all for real.
Not a cakewalk at all. Definitely not a cakewalk.
Damn. That was hard, man. That was hard. A9 and them next. Shit. Then me and Domo. Oh, shit, man. All right. Judah Nestor said, great debate, Taz and Blue. Yeah. He says, Blue, you know better than use Liberia as an example. I destroyed Nyame with that. We are called whites in Liberia. Ooh, too bad Taz ain't know that. Blue, you knew this. I was surprised you used that angle. They said they call us whites in Liberia. Well, I guess that's the game.
Who said that?
Judah
That's
Nazareth.
a lie.
Judah Nazareth.
You just lied, bro. No, they do not. They call us Congo. You just lied, bro. They call us Congo people. Or they call us or Americano, or we're called Americano Liberians. I don't know, I'm finna cut it one more time.
This is why you stick
another name that they gave us. You finna
around seeking information from niggas. This is just where you fuck around and, you know what I'm saying? Nigga be rebutting you like this.
He would say something that dumb, bro. Like niggas would say anything.
You know what I'm saying? We just try to slip it in because you heard it, somebody else said it, so you try to slip it in like, yeah, I don't know why it makes you Liberia, because they said it, they even call us white in Liberia. You're dead. So, you know what I'm saying? As soon as he jump in with this shit right here, what can you say?
Your whole career. Judy, you got a whole following. Bluefield try to take all that from you right now.
No, Lord, you don't use no information you don't know yourself. Fuck that.
Hey, buddy.
I'm finna cut him again. Hold on. I got that information. Damn. Yeah. Now that's what's up, man. Subscribe to Judah Natsura, y'all. Subscribe to Judah Natsura.
Yeah, it's Congo, bro. But it's no plan. Yeah, they call us Congo people. It's another word too. Okay, so yeah, we got the Creole.
What the fuck you just got me? Damn, man. It is
Garfield must want to debate you on the ATS or something, bro. Because like he definitely was taking shots at you.
He took a few shots. That's what I'm trying to figure. I'm like, well, okay.
Like, what was it? I was wondering that. What was it that you said that was triggering the multiple responses of I didn't agree with Blue. I didn't agree with Blue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm like, the first black president? I mean, I was like, because he mentioned, I could have sworn he said.
But you didn't say John Hampton, though.
Yeah, that's what I was like. That's what I was trying to figure out. When did I say John Hanson?
Right, yeah, you didn't say John Hanson. I caught that.
That nigga dozed off. Hey, but they were saying, I think, hold on, let me see. Judah said the West African neighbors and inhabitants of Liberia who conceived of themselves as black recognize the significant cultural difference between themselves and these newly arrived Americans. But I think pro-black made the comment that they classify Jews as white. So I guess Judah is coming from the Hebrew Israelite standpoint. Like they call Israelites white. Let me see. He got another comment. Racially categorized the newcomers as whites. This project examines ramifications for these African American settlers of becoming simultaneously white and black through their Atlantic mobility. Okay, well, so what then? We white then. Shit, that ain't a fucking insult. We black and we got a classification of white. All right, there we go. Dragon Ball Z Super and Teen Titans Go is the super dope. This is what Lance said. The dude who left here acting like he was getting terrorized by police. Shout out to him.
I'm gonna tell you.
University.
Let me unpause you, bro. What you falling into is what they're getting ready to try to walk you into. Yeah, bro, there were cultural differences, but what they're gonna do is lie and tell you that we didn't. There's two things they're gonna lie and say. They're gonna say 1 second, they're gonna say that we came there, enslaved the Africans, forced them to be Christians, this and that. In the next moment, they're gonna say that, and that we did not intermix with the natives. In the next moment, they're gonna say that we made a bunch of kids with the natives. We ended slavery, and on top of which is why we fought against the Kru tribe, and some parts in the Bassa tribe, which Oprah Winfrey comes from. And then And then at the end of the day, it all comes down to the same. It's like this little there. What really happened was, bro, we mixed in. Some of us, bro, it's a dude that had, this nigga dad had 50 wives. He was actually supposed to be, he would have been the president, the vice president that would have been assassinated. But they told him to give up his wives, he wouldn't give them up. It was native wives. It was like it was only difference our style. We was dressing the way we was dressing, and they dressed the way that they dressed. And when we they tried to take some of the pictures that we took together and make it seem like we was enslaving them because some of the people ain't got fucking clothes on. And we did. It's like, no, bro. That was not the case.
Brother Judge Daniel Heru says Blue should have stuck with the economic angle while stating at the beginning that this is not about leaving America. And Judah has dropped another source. I think African Americans, American blacks, white people. Yeah.
What I was expecting though, that's why I thought my battle was going to be so far uphill, because I thought he was going to economy be the best being investing with Blue. And I thought he was going to, I thought that's what I was going to be fighting, was that economy shit. So a lot of arguments was throwing me off too, because that shit never came up, bro. I was waiting for investing with Blue.
See, and this is where he's going to die at, bro. We literally have the only constitution that's based on race in the world, where you literally have to be a Negro, Black American descendant, besides the natives, in order, bro, to even be a citizen, own land, or even be in the politics. So how the fuck are you going to then be that same black person in there? Because you're saying we were black here, but white in America, in there, but yet the Constitution is built around being a Negro, Black American. It makes no sense, bro. Like that, if none of that that's what I'm saying. Like that whole argument that they make about that, they're trying to say that they're trying to make this argument that we couldn't assimilate with the Liberians. That's not true, nor is that why we even had a civil war or a coup. None of that is the reason for any of that. Because even the tribes that even some of the people from the tribe, like, bro, it was so many different tribes, and we it was two tribes. Only one of the tribes, the Crew tribe, is the one that actually ended up trying to take power, and we knocked them right back off, and now shit is back running again. It took 10 years. Well, it took 15 since the 90s. I think Charles Taylor went back and declared war in like the 96, and it ended in like 2005 when he stepped down, which we introduced the first Black woman president in the whole world. Never been a Black woman president. We introduced that.
I don't know, that shit was hard as hell, man. That shit was off topic. That shit was hard.
I don't think you want this Liberian work, Julie. I don't think you want this work.
Yeah. That nigga said we call whites.
And that's it, the natives. Congo don't translate to white, bro.
Nah, but that don't conflict, because it's saying, and it said in there, the black whites. So I mean, is without changing the vernacular, that's like liberation. That's equality. Being equal with the whites is being white. The vernacular could be better, but at the end of the day, that's really what you asking for. We want the black people to be equal with whites. So except like you got your Spanish whites and this white and all them niggas, shit.
Right, but that's based on them saying that we and see, this is what he going by, that we established ourselves as elites. Bro, that is not true, bro. We built a republic. Literally, every tribe that was there beefing, they all got a seat at the table, bro, as their own political party with equal representation at the table along with us. You're lying right now, bro. That's just not true. The politics don't show that.
Do the
They were all equal, bro. This elite class. The only reason why they're saying it's elite is because we were dressed a certain way and we built certain buildings a certain way, bro. And this is from a white person's point of view. So this is not. We weren't elite. We were building together, bro. We couldn't have built Liberia without the natives, bro. Like everybody had. That's how you build a republic. People have to agree.
He said, "Blue, you know I have that picture of the Black Americans with native Liberians in slave chains."
Bro, again, the crew people who literally marked their forehead to establish that they were free men, bro. That's who was selling slaves, bro, already. Who sold us? We caught fades with the crew. Bro, hit the link. We literally caught fades with the crew, bro.
Hey, saying what you're gonna get me into. That's why we just
this is silly.
Off the ACS. That's why we just barely touched on. This is a rabbit hole. That's what I'm saying. The same type shit that niggas about to get into.
He falling right into that. Oh, we went there and enslaved the natives. Nigga, slavery was still going on when we got there, you dumbass nigga. We stopped slavery. Who in slavery? A black man. Like, that's crazy. Why do you think the crew got a political party, bro, to stop slavery, nigga?
He said, "Stop it, Blue. You're on the intellectual John Wick."
Crazy.
Brother Daniel Heru said, "Show how our economic relationship with the continent of Africa or West African countries may benefit us here, economically, politically, and strengthening cultural ties. Could have gave task problems." Yeah. Good job, Taz, for us. Good job, Taz, for us. Focus and consistency during the debate. Pro Black says his actually the second source that Judah posted says what you just said.
Yeah, I know it does. But that's what I'm saying. But when you go into when you actually research it, it doesn't make any sense.
Thank you, Pro Black.
Because the research, he's saying, hold on, let me make sure what he's saying. He's saying that the resource, he's saying that the source that Judah Poole is saying what I'm saying or saying what Judah saying?
What you saying.
Yeah.
It said on the plus side, the Americano Liberians, us, did take a hand in suppressing the slave trade, mounting expeditions against nearby slave barracoons.
Had to stop that shit. Especially when we got there and seen, like, damn, these the niggas that probably sold us to the Americans.
The newly arrived settlers
we had to
called Americo-Liberians or Congos, though just 5% of the population.
Rabbit hole.
Yeah. I think like that's what's crazy though is when we talk about what they control, like you gotta remember when they get there, they buy land. So now Liberia right now is the state before they start making deals with the rest of the people to expand Liberia and bringing tribes into Liberia. So in the beginning, when you first get Liberia, we actually would have been 100% of the population, because the only part of Liberia that would have been actually Liberia was what we purchased from the natives. So then after we purchased from the natives, then as we continue to go further, now we start making pacts. The Mende tribe, which was one of the biggest, and then the Kru tribe. Now the respect comes from the fact that not only did we abolish slavery, but that they are people of their word. You know what I'm saying? When we bought buying land, ain't like buying land down here. Is we bought that's ours. And when we make a deal to expand, that's ours. And it's just continued.
That sounds true. I heard that shit, man. Man, y'all are impressive, man. Shout out to the league, man. Good information.
I'm definitely finna start going in on it. I had to start, so I couldn't do no shows on it until, because I've been waiting. Especially now that I got to check it in and subscribe. I was like, yeah, I gotta go in.
He was waiting on me to go down that rabbit hole.
I'm hunting rabbit.
I had a whole bunch of shit set up for that, bro. Already ready. I was like, yeah, we probably end up here sooner or later. Because I knew if anytime you type in, like, I figured that was debate. I knew if you type in Liberia off the bat, you're going to get black people went there and enslaved the natives. They were white people trying to Christianize. Like, the shit sounds bad, bro. I was like, damn.
Yeah, it said, remember I said that source also said, exhausted, that they stole most of the land at gunpoint in most cases, in some cases. They made fuck off this land, bitch.
Yeah, we definitely did that, but that was how we kind of take some of the territory from like the crew. And so that was us with also at that time we had tribed up with the Bassa tribe and some other tribes, the Nende tribe. So at that time now,
take some American land with some guns there.
We can, yeah. Once we strengthen the army there.
Terrorist list, my nigga.
We can. I mean, yeah, that's why I gotta move first, bro, before I really go.
Definitely gonna cut your food stamp. You ain't gonna have no car.
Hey, I gotta move before I go in first, bro, because I ain't gonna lie, y'all niggas might be mad if I get power over there. I'm putting the ultimatum out for the gate.
Hell nah.
Yeah, that shit's on the table. You either gonna see us, nigga, or you gonna pay what you the fuck over, nigga.
Did it.
Let's go.
We be.
How I said, we stronger, we stay where we at. We just need to be way stronger. We all stay where we at. Niggas is in the UK. Niggas, we just gotta like centralize some shit.
So you gotta renounce your citizenship here to be a Liberian?
Hell yeah.
See, that's the hate.
That shit go.
Yeah, bro. But they making sure your ass don't ride the fence.
Yeah, nigga, once you get, bro, you make a decision. This is what you gonna be. What you gonna be. I mean, it ain't like you can't come back and shit. You know what I'm saying? But
that's why I would never go down that rabbit hole, because I know you would never tell me that in a debate. You know what I'm saying? You would never.
Nah.
Fucked up right there. But that changed the whole dynamic of the argument right there. Like, wait, what, nigga?
Yeah, I would have never brought that up, bro. We was never gonna come across that.
Hey, that shit sounded all the way good up until that moment. Like,
I let go of that citizenship.
I'm rolling the dice, bro. I didn't know I was gonna be rolling the dice with everything on the line. Like, wait, nigga, that ain't the same taking a chance.
Hold up. That's for real. That was the one part I thought about. But I'm like, shit. Like, man, at least we ain't starting from scratch. Yeah, you know what I mean? We got good relations. It's like, even the war wasn't like it was the tribes against us. It was that shit was like, it was a plot, it was on the, well, really, the dude of the crew to be, and this is what I wanted to talk about, and this is where T got come into play. You know what bro, the reason why they killed our president, the dude killed our president, bro, because he wanted the crew, they wanted to be initiated into Prince on Freemason. The first thing he did when they got into office, bro, after they killed our president, they banned Freemasonry there. And they shut down the Masonic Lodge. And I was gonna go too, as to show a connection, because when the president that did that, I can't even think of his name off the top of the head. But when he did that,
Taz is the nigga that moved to Liberia for all of it.
Yeah, I already know.
Like he'll research this shit and find some shit. I'll be like, God damn.
I mean, you get land and they gonna loan you shit to eat.
It seems like it's like a colony of America. It don't even seem like it's separate, bro.
It's nothing but no, bro. It's nothing. Like they literally made it to be as comfortable as a transition as possible.
As possible. Yeah, your little red, white, and blue flag and shit.
Yeah, like you ain't, you know,
I got a real issue with that renouncing citizenship, though, bro. If I don't like that shit and can't come back, I don't fuck that.
So that's why you can visit. You always can, visit, fill it out. Like you can visit for a long time. But
yeah, that's what I'm ever do. I would never sign on, nigga.
But that is right now. We have a say so on voting. I'm gonna post up where we can vote out on that. We do have that is up for grabs as we speak. And that is something on dual citizenship. So that is something I think we need to be voting, putting our word in on. We need dual citizenship. Because we do need to press for that shit. Like, it's supposed to be made for us to feel comfortable. Dual citizenship will make us feel a lot more comfortable about making this transition. See, Judah mad because Liberia kills his whole, niggas ain't got no land to go. The whole curses shit flies right the fuck out of the window.
Right, when land to go back to.
Yes, the curses flies right the fuck out of the window.
That's why I hate some of these debates, though. Because it seems like everything, like niggas be waiting to try to corner you into that type of shit, bro. Like, hell nah. Niggas be waiting to try to corner you into some wild shit like that. Like, that's what it boiled down to, bro. Like, some biblical shit.
That's what the whole point of this shit is, bro. Is to keep them curses. So we stay cursed. We ain't supposed to have no land that belongs to us. That's their whole fucking stand. These niggas they could have been out teaching us about Liberia. They could have been building an Israelite nation in fucking Liberia. Instead, they want to continue this lie. We ain't got nowhere to go. Where we gonna go?
We're supposed to be broken, hungry, and homeless. That's the curse. We're supposed to have shit. You getting shit? Oh, you fucking up. You getting shit.
Yeah, that's bullshit right there, bro.
Yeah. They gonna say the niggas that went to Liberia wasn't Israelites because they was able to build some shit. It was successful.
And what about the niggas in Kenya? They about to be. It's about to be a whole bunch of Israelites in Kenya that keep on doing their thing.
Now Kenya is a good spot for us to go to. They actually like us going there. They want us to go and actually they want to help. But to me, I just like the setup for me in Liberia, even though there's other places that probably look better and it's probably more comfortable. I think
I'm with the word.
Liberia is I'm ready to get my hands dirty, bro. I didn't know.
But you go somewhere where it's already built up, the transition gonna be even harder. Like this something I was waiting to hear y'all bring up too. Like I can be more of a contributor in lands that ain't already built up. You know what I'm saying? Versus here, I do good taking care of myself versus trying to take care of 3 or 4 family members outside of my house. Like I can't really do that shit. You know what
and really shit is built. Like, and see, this is what's fucked up about the Charles Taylor ordeal. Because even though it kind of, from a power standpoint, it we was able to get some shit done. The bad part is that he was actually used in a way he fucked a lot of shit up, bro. Because you could tell Ronald Reagan, bro, specifically, bro, paid that man, bro, to fucking destroy all the shit that we had built there. Like all of that shit was targeted for some reason by the rebels and shit. I don't know. Out of nowhere.
I miss who you talking about, bro. You talking about Mandela? You talking about
Ronald Reagan. He had first he tried to offer the president before the coup. He tried to offer him like $1 million or some shit, and he turned that shit down loud. He was like, "I'll never sell my country." He said, "I'll never sell Liberia. It's for black people, whatever it is." Then next thing you know, we get a coup. He get executed and all of that. Then when the Civil War breaks out, it's almost like how strategically there's a war going on, but our shit that we built is constantly getting destroyed. You know what I'm saying? Like the infrastructure, it was fucked up. Luckily, our college still stands and shit. Like a lot of the Capitol still stand. Like, you know what I mean? The hotel, a lot of the tourist attractions and shit that we built. You know, it just got to be cleaned up a little bit. But
yeah, you was definitely trying to tie these to some shit like that. I hear you.
Yeah, I wanted to definitely. I had the whole transcript with damn Ronald Reagan sending the money. I was like, oh yeah, they got so mad we was building over there, bro. They tried to break our shit up. I was like, no. which I was kind of scared to go that route too, because now it's like, well, if the white man fucking with us here and he fucking with us there, then damn, it really ain't nowhere we could go.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I had a slide saying that too, with a joint on there, but I didn't even use it because I thought that was gonna fuck me up. You know what I'm saying? As like getting even back to that economic argument, I just didn't want to give like no, like you ain't saying it, so don't even give him don't tell him to say it. Don't say nothing about no economy. Don't talk about no money. You know what I'm saying? Don't say shit. You know what I'm saying? Because again, like I said, that's where to me your strong suit is, especially in regard to over me. And so that's what I didn't want to get in a conversation about. So
I kept trying to tie it there too. That was like my whole night. I'm like, I refuse. I was trying to make that the whole. I'm like, this is the center of our issue. It's like we treat each other fucked up because we broke.
The problem with black folks right here. Robert Reed said, "I'm watching the debate now. Did Taz mention all the American aid that Liberia gets? Africans do not even control
Robert Reed.
So all of the Liberian resources."
He just got here, bro. That would have been a damn.
He said, "So all
that would have been a rabbit hole."
Hold on, before you hold on. He said, "So all the Liberian resources, dude said blacks would be a misnomer." Judah just
the problem is he wanted that argument though. That, you know what I'm saying? Like I was trying to keep the argument the way that he wanted. He wanted me to bring up foreign aid. Like he wanted me like that. Like again, he's ready to argue foreign aid, and to me, bringing it up sounds good on the surface because on the surface it sounds good. If we got a legitimate argument to take it to the rabbit hole argument, he wins that. You know what I'm saying? Like just me bringing it up, but then him being able to rebut it with a legitimate, logical argument.
How crazy that would have been, bro. For like, look, if America is establishing a relationship with Africa, and we're supposed to be Americans, right? Like, how we not forming establishing a relationship with people that our country established? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But see, I wasn't even gonna go there. And just for Robert, I'm not juke moving Judy or Robert. This is why he didn't go there, because the reason why, when you talk about financial aid, when they ship out, bro, and just so you can check these numbers, the North sends to the poor South, bro, $2 trillion in financial aid a year. In return, they get back $5 trillion. So financial aid, bro, is not what you think it is, bro. It is not what you think it is at all. And you have no control over if one of the big countries decide they're going to drop financial aid off on you. Ask Haiti what financial aid did for them, bro. When fucking Hillary Clinton and them just kept dropping off free food, and then niggas even learn how to build solar panels in Haiti. And then what do Hillary and them? They come online and drop off free solar panels. Like, god damn, nigga. Like, we can't, how are we supposed to build an economy when every time we're trying to do something, you drop free shit off? Like, damn, we don't need it. Like, and you can look at this constantly, bro. Different nations on a regular basis saying we don't need your help. Stop it. And constantly they do that. They're forcing you into debt. This dude is done, bro. You need to go study, bro, because you don't know what you're talking about, bro. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now, bro.
Yeah,
2 trillion, you're going to get back 5 trillion. Look at those numbers exactly.
Back in that you tripping.
That's 3 minutes on and then rapid fire round. That's 3 minutes go. No, fucking that argument. That's 3 minutes go. Shouldn't have brought up. You shouldn't even brought it up, but now you done lost it. You know what I'm saying?
And that was already, and that was definitely already set up to ready to go to. I can go straight there. Boom. I wish I would have been a little bit. I had an argument. I had came across late as far as reparations. I wish I had been able to build a stronger argument for why we should allocate reparations though to distribute to us, as opposed, because really I had some shit for like Japan. Japan got reparations for what happened to the American Japanese. You know what I mean? The same thing with Israel. And when they got it, Japan allocated not only those funds to Japan, but to Japanese Americans. Same thing with Israel. Israel, they didn't only benefit, but also Jewish people in the diaspora benefited from, you know what I'm saying, from reparations that they continuously receive.
Damn, boy.
Then nigga said, I live around Africans. And that was another thing I wanted you to say. How many Africans, I was hoping you was gonna say that Africans always be moving here trying to get a better life. I was hoping you was gonna say that too.
I just briefly touched on it.
I had the calculations and everything ready, bro. I was gonna say, how many Africans come to the Americas, bro, for a better life? And then out of those, how many was forced here because America fucked they goddamn country up? Like shit.
Yeah, I just briefly touched on it and said that historically it's been rising that they're coming here.
Yeah, I tuned in on it. I ain't going enough. Yeah, I do remember you saying that. Yup. And I caught it. Yeah, because I caught it. And I think I wrote it down, but I got distracted with other shit that you said. Because I really wanted, I already had the calculator ready. Yeah, that shit was less than 5%. Less than 0.5% come here from Africa for a better life. And then out of that 0.5, like 0.3 of that or 0.4 of that 0.5% is forced here from the Sudan and the Congo, which was destabilized, which already had ready by the CIA.
Right.
In order to make our damn iPhones. Oh shit.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying though, as far as even before the debate, I was saying like being careful about not bringing up shit that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just not well versed on what's going on in other countries because I do content so much about here. I'm always reading about here. You know what I'm saying, and whatnot. I'm just not as well versed about somewhere else as I would be here. So I was very careful about that shit. I ain't want no smoke.
It was definitely, man. It was good. It was stuff I wanted you to go into that you definitely did. So that definitely, it forced my hand, it kind of forced me to scramble in a lot of ways to try to do something else. So that was definitely tough. What is you saying in the families of the industries? don't get what you're trying to say. African embassies, bro. Are you talking about Africans that go to Japan? Man, man, come on, bro. Now Africans is going to Japan for a better. Hey, stop that, man.
What was it though, Blue? You were just itching to get it in? Cause like, nigga, we weren't supposed to debate till next week, nigga. But I mean, like,
I think I should have waited, man.
I feel like he was pressed down on me the other day, and I just didn't want to look like I ain't want to look, bro. I ain't want to look lame, so I had to just take it like, all right, bet. Like I ain't scared, nigga. But I'm thinking like, bro, I thought we was waiting, bro. Like, why you pulling down on me? Like,
I got so confident, bro, that I was like, man, I'm ready, man. Like, fuck it. Because I really wanted the 14th, but I was like, shit, I'm ready. I was ready to debate down there that night. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to debate.
Yeah, I'm like, cause look, when you came on, you said some shit like, man, we could debate the 6th or 13th. I'm like, wait, what? I thought we was locked in. What the fuck?
I started getting anxious and shit. I was like, boy, I'm like, I wanted to wait. Then I'm like, man, I'm really the goddamn debate. Then the longer I'm waiting, I'm saying shit that's fucking up my debate. I'm like, man, we need to hurry up. If we really would have waited to the 14th, my whole debate would have been out on the fucking table, bro. Like, that shit it really would have been. I couldn't wait. I
would have had a whole other argument then.
Yeah, I probably had a whole other argument.
Like, well, the reason why is economics and fuck liability.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I kept tweaking it until the 14th. Next week, no, because man, that shit was crazy. I showed, man, I was ready, excited, but I'm glad, man. I'm glad, bro. I get the rest, man, for a little while.
Oh my life, that do be the thing too. Like, well, nah, the pressure on y'all. I'm finna sit back and be normal and watch y'all be crazy.
What? Damn, man. That shit be crazy,
y'all
bro.
Be sorry for Domo, bro. That nigga Domo gonna be like, this is the stupidest dumbass shit. See, this the bullshit y'all be talking about. Man, if the league finna go this way, bro, I might as well not even be out. He gonna lose his mind. Watch, bro. Watch, bro. That nigga said, I set the standard. Just wait, bro. All that shit ain't gonna be nothing, bro. I'm telling you, watch. Like, man, that nigga purposely trying to talk over y'all head to confuse you and just give you the benefit of the doubt or the argument because, you know, he playing on your ego. You don't want to be wrong. Nigga, make that shit make sense. Talk to us, nigga, like you said in your last debate. You talking to niggas. Remember that? I'm gonna get that.
I'm gonna tell you though, what's really funny too, bro. The panels I've been on, all of them always make jokes about Nigerians, bro. That's what's funny as fuck, bro. Like, they would not lay off Nigerians for shit. I'm like, what the hell y'all keep going in on Nigerians for? Like, for some reason, nobody on the continent fucking with Nigerians, bro. Like, now that I was hoping you bring that up, because that shit was, I found that odd as hell. They keep making it, I mean, I know they got the scammers and shit. You know, they be doing it. I didn't know they was doing it that big like that with the scammers, bro. Like, them niggas is like 12, 13 pulling up. And some shit you ain't even seen.
That shit hard, man. That shit hard, man. I want to thank both of y'all, bro. I'm finna kick y'all off too, man. Get some rest, bro.
Yeah,
man.
No doubt, man.
My wife probably finna kill me.
No more about it, y'all, man. Thank y'all. Congratulations to both debaters on a great season and Blue making it to the playoffs, to the division round. I mean, you know, yeah, the division round. And shout out to Taz for, you know, going beyond that, man. Taz versus Suave, boss. Who knew? Who fucking knew? It makes sense though. This is the league, man. Don't ever get it fucked up, man. Shout out to Solar Man. Tomorrow, man. Check y'all out. Maybe Battle Axe go live or Blue or somebody. You don't know.
Yeah, I do need to go. I'm probably gonna go live on my channel early. So if y'all up, man, y'all jump on.
For sure.
That's some shit to do, though.
Peace. Go, man. Tag. Blue.
Peace. Motherfucker, chat.
Man, where you got daylight at? I forgot you was across seas. My bad. All right, tomorrow, man. Hey.